Chapter 626. Old Man Li and Wu Quishan gave chase as soon as the Sky Gate City Lord fled. Seeing this, Fang Ping roared and shouted, "Vice Chancellor, catch the weapon!" As soon as he finished speaking, a huge black iron sword shot out. Wu Quishan caught it in his hand. He did not linger, rushing toward the west. Both of them were extremely fast, disappearing without a trace in no time. Fang Ping did not stop either. He shouted, "After them!" The situation was awkward. The 3-rank, 8 monsters looked at him with their huge eyes, full of confusion. Fang Ping looked back at them and roared again, "After them!" The Jiao shook its fat body, not making a sound. What was there to chase? The Dumbwood was killed. The giant mine was ownerless. The giant mine belonged to the Dumbwood, not the Wood King. The demons knew this. Now that their master was dead, the Wood King was being hunted. Even if he was not being hunted, he would leave the 7 southern regions. If that was the case, why should they chase? The Wood King had a rank 9 divine weapon. He was fierce when fighting demons. Moreover, the giant mine was waiting for them. The Jiao could not wait any longer. It was going to reap the benefits. Seeing that it was going to Sky Gate City, Fang Ping cursed in his heart and said hurriedly, "King Jiao, the giant mine is not in a hurry. You guys chase after it and help me kill that old dog. I'll give you the imperishable substance to hone your bodies." 3 big lumps of imperishable substance appeared in Fang Ping's hands. He threw 1 to each monster and said hurriedly, "There's more after this. The giant mine is right there. It can't run away. With the help of the imperishable substance, the chances of breaking through rank 9 will be higher." As soon as he said that, the Jiao suddenly growled, one more, go after it." Fang Ping wanted to curse out loud. Just you wait. If it were not for the fear that these monsters would ruin things when they returned to Sky Gate City, he would not have let them chase after them. Fang Ping did not say much. He condensed another 3 lumps of imperishable substance. Seeing that the monsters were staring at him, Fang Ping coughed softly. "My ancestor is still here." The 3 monsters did not look at him anymore. They leaped into the air and chased toward the west. When they flew away, Fang Ping cursed. When the Jiao saw his expression just now, it was very greedy. This big dog actually wanted to rob him. "I've always been the one robbing others. How dare you try to rob me? I'll get even with you sooner or later." Fang Ping scolded him, but he had no intention of chasing after him. There was no other reason than that he couldn't catch up. The Sky Gate City Lord's speed was too fast. If that guy turned around and killed him, how could he explain himself? As a weakling, he would not participate in the battle between the strong. Other than him, Chen Yaoding didn't get involved either. At this moment, Chen Yaoding no longer had the high spirits he had when he killed a rank 8. His face was bitter. He could not catch up. Forget about Old Man Li and Wu Quishan. He could not even catch up with 3 rank 8 monsters. Needless to say, these 3 level 8 beasts were really strong. It was only natural that they were strong. The 3 rank 8 monsters all believed that they were not far from rank 9. That was why they dared to take the risk. If they were not strong, they would not have thought of seizing the giant mine. Chen Yaoding flew over and looked at the figures that had already disappeared in the distance. He exhaled slightly and said, "The outcome is set." The Sky Gate City Lord had given up on the idea of continuing the battle because the Sky Gate tree was killed. At this time, the rank 9 battle was considered over. Fang Ping shook his head and said, "The Vice Chancellor won't rest until he kills the Sky Gate City Lord." "There's still a catacomb city over there." Chen Yaoding wanted to say something, but stopped. This was not an easy thing to do. The Sky Gate City Lord did not run in the direction of Sky Gate City because there were MCMU powerhouses on the way. If they tried to stop him, he would be blocked easily. He did not go deep into the catacombs because there were human powerhouses at Imperial Sea Mountain. He did not go to the Forbidden Sea because he did not dare to go there. That was why he chose to escape to the west. That was also the only direction he could escape from. If Wu Quishan and the other human powerhouses went after him, some city lords might attack. This was because Wu Quishan had already exceeded the battle area set by the true kings and invaded their territory. Moreover, Fong Ping looked in the direction of Imperial Sea Mountain, frowning slightly. At this point in the battle, Skygate City had already lost. If King Huai decided to stop the battle, then MCMAU could not continue to chase him. The Skygate City Lord would also be taken away. King Huai's mentality was shattered earlier. He might not know what happened now. Fong Ping said suddenly, then added quickly, if the Vice-Chancellor wants to kill the Skygate City Lord, he can only take advantage of this gap. King Huai probably did not expect Skygate City Lord to be killed so quickly. His mentality had covered thousands of miles, probing the situation here. Zhang Tao and Fong Ping had joined forces to annihilate it. In a short period of time, the other party might not release his mentality again to probe the situation. Time was short. Fong Ping knew that for the sake of the big picture, Zhang Tao would not insist on killing the Skygate City Lord even if the outcome had been decided. Wu Quishan wanted revenge, but he did not have much time. Without thinking about this, Fong Ping hurriedly ran in the direction of the previous battle. After a while, Fong Ping arrived at the previous battlefield. I'm rich. When he saw the Skygate tree's corpse, Fong Ping laughed loudly. He was really rich. The Skygate tree was killed by Old Man Li with one slash. The void rift cut it into dozens of pieces. It did not even have the chance to self-destruct. Although it was cut off and a part of its trunk was swallowed by the void rift, compared to the Skygate tree's huge body, the swallowed part was nothing. This was Fong Ping's first time seeing the corpse of a rank 9 monster plant. During the battle in Tianan, he had also killed rank 9 monster plants, but almost all of them had self-destructed, leaving nothing behind. At this moment, in the big hole underground, the golden trunk of the big tree was still exuding a strong life aura. During the battle against the Skygate tree, the life essence was constantly being used. This was also one of the reasons why monster plants were so strong. During the battle, their recovery speed was fast. Fong Ping did not hesitate. He quickly flew into the hole and picked up the tree trunk. Not only the tree trunk, but the life essence was also rapidly depleting. Fong Ping quickly found the area that contained the life essence. It was a small section of the big tree trunk. The trunk not only contained the life essence, but also a golden water mirror-like object the size of a human head. Core, Fong Ping shouted hurriedly. Old Chen, help me look, see if the brain core is here. The remains of a rank 9 monster plant were left here. If they did not take it away, it would probably be gone by the time they returned. Chen Yaoding heard this and quickly searched. Soon, Chen Yaoding dragged a section of the trunk in his hand and said, "It's here." At this moment, a blood-red crystal appeared in his hand. That was the Skygate tree's brain core. Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. His main worry was that the brain core would be swallowed by the void rift. He was quite lucky that it had not been swallowed. With the brain core and the heart core, a rank 9 divine weapon was in his hands. However, when he saw the dozens of sections of the trunk, Fong Ping bared his teeth. The monster plant was too huge. Even if it was cut into dozens of sections, each section was about 10 cubic meters. With so many pieces, there might be about 300 cubic meters. Fong Ping did not care about these. He took out a huge crystal bottle and began to collect the overflowing life essence. Chun Yaoding watched as his big bottle filled up quickly. The corner of his mouth twitched slightly. Every time he saw this kid use such a big bottle to store life essence, he felt that it was not life essence, but water. Who would use this to store life essence? Other people calculated it in grams, but Fang Ping always calculated it in caddies. People were afraid of comparisons. Soon, Fang Ping filled up 2 big bottles. Then he suddenly cursed, "Why is there only so little?" 2 big bottles weighed about 100 caddies. Skygate City had existed for a long time. The Skygate tree had not borne any fruit. Where was the life essence? That's normal. It's already unexpected that there's so much. Chun Yaoding explained, "Don't even think about getting much life essence from cities that are at war with humans. The war has been going on for so many years. Any more would have been used up. The Skygate tree has been used up quite a bit. I'm surprised that there's so much left." This was not Gigantic Willow City. Gigantic Willow City's catacombs had just opened, and the war had not started. That was why Fang Ping could get a bunch. Skygate City had fought countless battles with Sino Nation over the years. High-ranked powerhouses had been injured time and time again. Chun Yaoding was surprised that there were still so many left. Fang Ping thought about it and agreed. Old Man Li had killed the other party with 1 slash, which was why they had the chance to keep this thing. It had already exceeded his expectations. No matter how small a mosquito is, it's still meat. Chun Yaoding's expression stiffened even more. 100 caddies of life essence had become mosquito meat. Were they from the same world or not? Fang Ping did not care what old Chun was thinking. He had spent a lot this time. It was not a lot of money to give him all of the 100 caddies of life essence. According to the previous value given by the system, it was 250 billion. Now, it was 25 million points. However, if he gave the Skygate tree to him, the rank 9 monster plant's carcass was also extremely precious. It would not be difficult to add another 10 million points, right? Old Wu and Old Man Li both owe me a lot of money. They killed it. I'll pay the debt first. Fang Ping calculated for a while. This rank 9 monster plant belonged to him. Not only did it belong to him, but he would also have to settle the debt with the 2 of them later. The imperishable substance and vitality recovery pills were all things that he had to pay for. After keeping the life essence, he put away the brain core and the heart core. Looking at the golden tree trunks beside him, Fang Ping felt a headache coming on. Should he expand his storage space? Forget it. I won't expand it now. The outside world still doesn't know how big my storage space is. If I take it all away, Fang Ping shook his head. It was better not to expand it now. If he really took it away, Zhang Tao and the others might be so shocked that their jaws would drop. Although Fang Ping did not know how big their storage rings were, he guessed that it would not be too big. The space of the jade pendant earlier was only so big. No matter how big Zhang Tao and the others' rings were, they could not be much bigger. After gathering the tree trunks together, Fang Ping began to gather the golden leaves. Seeing that Fang Ping did not even let go of the leaves, Chun Yaoding did not know whether to laugh or cry. This kid was really rich, but even so, he did not let go of the leaves. He was really thrifty. The leaves of the rank 9 monster plant were also good stuff, but relatively speaking, they were not worth mentioning at this moment. He did not expect Fang Ping to not even leave a single leaf behind. After he was done, Fang Ping raised his head and looked into the distance. He frowned slightly. There was no explosion of the aura of a great battle. It seemed that old Wu and the others had not caught up yet. If that was the case, things would not be easy to handle. At this moment, Lu Fengru and the others finally arrived. When she saw the golden tree trunks, Lu Fengru's face was full of joy. She said loudly, "The Sky Gate tree has been killed." "Yes, where is that be asterisk starred?" Fong Ping paused, then said quickly, "The Vice-Chancellor and the others went after him. The Vice-Chancellor and Instructor Li are both there, and there are also 3 rank 8 monsters. As long as they catch up, the Sky Gate City Lord will not be able to escape." "He ran away," Lu Fengru murmured, then asked hurriedly, "Where did he run to?" "Instructor, I want to go take a look." "He ran to the west." "Instructor, that's the catacombs territory. Don't act rashly." Before he finished speaking, Lu Fengru sprinted toward the west. Seeing that, Fong Ping glanced at Chen Yaoding. Chen Yaoding did not say much and quickly followed. Fong Ping looked at Tang Feng and the others. Seeing that they were excited and wanted to go too, he said hurriedly, "It's useless to chase after him now. We can't catch up, and we still have to guard against the Sky Gate City Lord's counterattack. Old Lu, you, and the others have an extremely important mission now." Lu Pola's expression was serious. He said immediately, "Speak." "Mining." Everyone fell silent instantly. Fong Ping said solemnly, "The war is almost over. Once the Paragons intervene, things will come to an end. According to the agreement, we can only take 30% of the giant mine. That would be a huge loss." Everyone quickly returned to Skygate City and organized the teachers and students to start mining. The more the better. Focus on mining the high-ranked energy mines in the core area. You must be fast. Having said that, Fong Ping added, "And these rank 9 monster plant torsos, bring them back too. Leaving them here will easily attract other people's attention." "I'll go and take a look. I don't know how the Vice-Chancellor is doing. If this mission was important, it was very important. If it was not important, it was just average. There was no need for so many grandmasters to do it." However, everyone understood what Fong Ping meant. They could not intervene in the battle of rank 9. If they went, they would have to be careful of being killed by the Sky Gate City Lord. At this time, the war was nearing its end. If they died here, it would be a huge loss. Lu Polu nodded. "All right then, we'll go back to mining." "Why don't you go too?" "It's too dangerous." "It's okay. I can conceal my aura. It's safer." Fong Ping was about to leave when Li Hansong said, "I'll go too. If we encounter an enemy, I can still hold off a rank 8 for a while." Fong Ping glanced at him and nodded. Seeing that old Wang and the others were about to speak, he waved his hand. "You guys don't go. Don't split up. If the Sky Gate City Lord turns a corner and runs back, he can still hold on for a while if there are more people. If there are fewer people, then it'll be really troublesome. If these people gather together, it would take some time for the Sky Gate City Lord to kill them. However, if they split up, killing a rank 7 would really be like killing a chicken." Everyone nodded. Soon, Fong Ping brought Li Hansong and chased toward the west. At the same time, the moment the Sky Gate tree fell, some powerhouses sensed it. In the direction of Monster Sunflower City. The Monster Sunflower City Lord's expression was ugly. Previously, only one of his 2 rank 8 subordinates came back. It was already a headache for him. In the end, the rank 8 powerhouse had just returned when the monster tree fell. At this moment, the Monster Sunflower City Lord could not help but sigh. This time, it was really beyond his expectations. In the city, the giant golden sunflower was also swaying continuously, its mentality trembling. A fellow clansman had fallen. Monster plant powerhouses were considered clansmen. In the 7 southern territories, the Guardian clan had 6 rank 9 monster plants. Now, one of them had fallen. The fall of the monster tree meant the destruction of Monsterwood City. From now on, Monster Sunflower City would be the first city to fight against Hope City. At this moment, the two rank 9 powerhouses of Monster Sunflower City had mixed feelings. Not only was Monsterwood City destroyed, but Monster Sunflower City had also lost a venerable and 6 chieftains in this battle. Their vitality was also greatly damaged. MCMAU, the Monster Sunflower City, Lord murmured. Even King Huai did not expect the result of this battle. He had mixed feelings, but there were cheers outside the city. Old Fan once again used the catacombs language to announce the results of the battle loudly. This time, in the huge Monster Sunflower City, millions of people were silent, not daring to speak. The King Realm had fallen. Monsterwood City's guardian divine tree had actually fallen. For Monster Sunflower City, who had already started a war with humans, this was an unimaginable blow to their morale. The Monster Sunflower City Lord could already feel the pessimism coming from the city. Not only the ordinary people, but even the chieftains were at a loss at this moment. The 6 cities of the Monster Plant clan had stood tall in the 7 southern territories for countless years. Today, one city was destroyed. Without the guardian monster plant, even if the Wood King was not dead, it was powerless. They sensed it. Mount Imperial Sea. Zhang Tao and War King sensed it too. King Huai's mentality was destroyed, but they did not. At this moment, King Huai's face was cold. He had not noticed the changes in the 7 southern territories. At this moment, King Huai was extremely angry. He looked coldly at Zhang Tao and War King. King Wu, what do you mean by sealing off the 7 southern territories? If there are powerhouses from the land of rebirth participating in the battle, I don't know anything. How can I be sure that you're not cheating? Zhang Tao said calmly. There are so many rank 9s in the 7 southern territories. What conspiracy? You participated in the middle of the battle several times. You're the one who broke the rules. Since you're willing to gamble, you should be willing to lose. It doesn't matter if you lose or I lose. Let them settle it themselves. Not only will you be the referee, but you also have to participate in the battle personally. King Huai, is this the catacombs' true king? King Huai's eyes flickered. He regained his calm and said slowly, All right, I won't participate anymore. Let Green Wolf King supervise. Beside him, a thin man with a smile said slowly, King Wu, War King, the 7 southern territories are my territory. It's fine if you don't let King Huai probe, but you even want to stop me. Do you think I'm easy to bully? Zhang Tao smiled. Why do you say that, Wolf King? I just don't want Monster Life King Court and humans to have a misunderstanding. If Wolf King is willing to be the supervisor, then there's no problem. What I'm afraid of is that Wolf King can't hold it in and wants to join in. If Monster Life 7 cities are involved, that will ruin the harmony between us. Green Wolf King said lightly, This is a private bet between you and King Huai. I won't participate in it. However, I still want to know about the 7 southern territories. Of course, although Zhang Tao said so, he still refused to let go of the blockade. At this moment, Wu Quishan and the others were still chasing after the Sky Gate City Lord. He also knew that the people of MCMAU had always wanted to kill the Sky Gate City Lord. If he did not kill the Sky Gate City Lord this time, it would be difficult. Once Green Wolf King found out the details and told King Huai, if King Huai chose to admit defeat, the Sky Gate City Lord would not be able to kill him. He could only delay it for a while more. Zhang Tao continued to wrangle with Green Wolf King and King Huai while he was calculating in his heart. At most, he could drag it out for about 10 minutes. By then, these two would be suspicious. Whether or not he could kill the Sky Gate City Lord before the end of the bet depended on his luck. In this battle, MCMAU had destroyed a rank 9, and almost razed Sky Gate City to the ground. This was already beyond Zhang Tao's expectations. If he really could not kill the other party, he could only end the war. Now, it was not the time to completely fall out. He was still prepared to kill those powerhouses in the forbidden purple region. Now that he had fallen out, things would not go so smoothly after King Huai changed his mind. Wu Quishan, I'll give you another 10 minutes. If you can't kill him, there's nothing I can do. Zhang Tao sighed softly in his heart. If he did not kill the Sky Gate City Lord, the murderer of a woman, Wu Quishan would not be able to untie the knot in his heart. The shackles were still there. When he reached the realm of rank 9 and comprehended the origin path, such a knot in his heart might become a huge obstacle. Just like Lu Fengru, who could not achieve mentality-vitality fusion, in rank 6, the knot in her heart was too heavy, and her obsession was too deep. It was not a good thing. Zhang Tao was buying time. Although Wu Quishan did not know about this, he could guess it. He knew that this was his last chance. Now that he could not kill the Sky Gate City Lord, King Huai would not easily give up on a rank 9's life. Seeing that the outcome was set, even if King Huai wanted to turn things around, he knew that there was no chance. If he ended the bet, then the Sky Gate City Lord could get away. Up ahead, the Sky Gate City Lord was extremely fast. At this moment, he had already reached the boundary of Monster Phoenix City. At Monster Phoenix City, the Monster Phoenix City Lord and an incomparably huge phoenix monster beast soared into the sky at this moment. From afar, the Monster Phoenix City Lord roared, "Stop! The battle between Monsterwood City and MCMAU is the true king's personal grudge. It has nothing to do with me. If you trespass into Monster Phoenix City, then don't blame us for breaking the true king's rules." Up ahead, the Sky Gate City Lord shouted, "Phoenix King! I'm just passing by. I won't implicate Monster Phoenix City." The Monster Phoenix City Lord frowned slightly. He had also felt the fall of Monsterwood City's Divine Wood. He also knew that the Wood King wanted to escape. They were both 7 Southern Territory City Lords. Although they were not of the same bloodline, the Wood King was still a person of the 7 Southern Territory. At this time, the resurrected martial artist was chasing after the Wood King. Should he pass by? The Wood King passing by Monster Phoenix City meant that he understood. He wanted him to delay for a while and wait for the true king's order. However, the true king had not given the order yet. Should he wade in this muddy water? Seeing that the Sky Gate City Lord was getting closer and closer outside the city gates, Wu Chuan suddenly exploded with force. This time, the Sky Gate City Lord turned pale with fright. He shouted angrily, "How dare you!" Wu Chuan's ability was much stronger than Wu Quishan. As one of the 4 major guardians, the Sky Gate City Lord also knew this. He had even fought Wu Chuan a few times. As the Southern Guardian, Wu Chuan had entered the MCMU catacombs several times to fight him. However, Wu Chuan was not in MCMU now. Wu Chuan said coldly, "You've crossed the line. The battlefield is near Sky Gate City. The Absolute King has not given the order, which means that the war is not over. You've crossed the line. That means you've broken the rules. I have a reason to kill you." The Sky Gate City Lord was furious. He was also infuriated. Had the King Huai not noticed the change? Or was the King Huai really going to sacrifice himself? Or was he pinned down? No matter what, the King Huai had not given the order, which meant that the war was not over. At this moment, Wu Chuan wanted to kill him on the grounds that he had crossed the line. Seeing Wu Chuan's aura erupt and the rank 9 divine weapon in his hand, the Sky Gate City Lord was furious. If it was Wu Chuan without a rank 9 divine weapon, he would still dare to fight. However, the other party had a divine weapon. Once he attacked, he was not a match at all. not to mention that the Snake King and the others were about to catch up. Glancing at the Monster Phoenix City Lord from afar, seeing that he had no intention of helping him, the Skygate City Lord was even more furious. If the Monster Phoenix City Lord stood up and said a few words to pin down Wu Chuan, he would not have to worry at all. No matter how strong Wu Chuan was, the 2 rank 9s from Monster Phoenix City were enough to pin him down. Damn it! The Skygate City Lord was furious, but he did not stop. Very quickly, he took a detour and flew toward the edge of the Forbidden Sea. As soon as he left, Wu Quishan and the Snake King arrived. Without exchanging any pleasantries with Wu Chuan, both of them did not stop at all, quickly chasing after the Skygate City Lord. As soon as they left, the 3 monsters arrived. When the 3 monsters saw Wu Chuan, they were a little wary. When it saw the Monster Phoenix City Lord and the Phoenix Monster, the Jiao suddenly roared a few times. Wu Chuan clearly felt the rank 9 monster from Monster Phoenix City stop. The Monster Phoenix City Lord's expression changed slightly, saying loudly, "Golden-horned Beast King, 100 Beasts Forest, wants to kill the Wood King. I don't know the inside story. I can't make a decision. I think we need to be cautious about this." Before he could finish, the Jiao roared and ran away with the 2 monsters. As soon as this fellow arrived, he roared at the rank 9 Phoenix, asking it to help 100 Beasts Forest kill the Wood King, the villain who killed the 100 Beasts Forest messenger. The villain was the first to complain. That was it. Before this, the Monster Phoenix City Lord wanted to say a few words. It was not a good thing for 100 Beasts Forest to participate in the war set by the true king. The golden-horned Beast King was still chasing after them at this time, offending King Huai. However, when he heard that this fellow wanted to kill the Wood King, the villain who killed the messenger, the Monster Phoenix City Lord, was speechless. Motherf Asterisk-Cur, was it true? Was the Wood King an idiot? Did he really kill the 100 Beasts Forest messenger? Last time, he caused a ruckus and fought with 100 Beasts Forest, and now he killed the 100 Beasts Forest messenger? He did not think that the Wood King was that stupid, but the 3 rank 8 venerable monsters of 100 Beasts Forest had confirmed this, and would rather offend King Huai to kill the other party. It was really hard to determine whether it was true or not. Could it be that the aftermath of the battle accidentally killed the messenger? Was the 100 Beasts Forest messenger so stupid that he had to rush in during a battle between rank 9? Despite his doubts, he was still relieved to see the golden-horned beast leave. Forget it, he did not care anymore. The guardian divine beasts were also monsters, and they had a good relationship with the Forbidden Land. Earlier, the Phoenix monster could not refuse. Fortunately, the golden-horned Beast King ran away, or else this would be troublesome. The Monster Phoenix City Lord was full of doubts, but Wu Chuan's expression was stiff. He roughly understood the meaning of their conversation. This monster was really strange. Chapter 6:27. Bastard, you won't get away today. At the edge of the Forbidden Sea, Wu Quishan roared and attacked his opponent from a distance. In front, the Skygate City Lord did not stop. Even when he was hit by Wu Quishan's heaven and earth powers, he did not care. He was not necessarily afraid of these 2. Even though the other person had killed the divine wood tree, the Skygate City Lord did not really think he would be killed. There was no need to take the risk. At this moment, he wanted to buy time. He wanted to wait for Lord Huai's orders. At this point, Monsterwood City had lost. Since they had lost, he did not want to fight with these people anymore, because his life was indeed in danger. Although it was a pity that he could not kill the Snake King, at this point, he might as well go to the Forbidden Zone. Could the Snake King really kill his way to the Forbidden Zone if he just stayed as a city lord? Even if he was a true king, attacking from a distance could kill the weak, but it was clearly impossible to deal with a powerful cultivator like the Skygate City Lord. Not only could he not kill him, he could not even stop him for a moment. Seeing that his opponent was charging forward and running away, Wu Quishan panicked. Time passed quickly. If this went on, there would be no time left. At this moment, a loud beast roar came from behind. Roar! That was Jiao's voice. The sound spread far and wide. At first, no one paid attention, but soon the same beast roars came one after another. Then, right in front of the Sky Gate City Lord, who was fleeing, a creaking sound could be heard. It was not Jiao's roar, but a sharp grinding sound. In front of him, in the middle of a vast golden desert, a few shockingly large ants soared into the sky, and crunching sounds rang out incessantly. Jiao also roared crazily, "Brother, help block the way." The Wood King killed the Forbidden Zone messenger again. There were several Forbidden Zones in the 7 southern regions. Mount Royal Sea in the north, the Forbidden Sea in the south, the 100 Beast Forest in the east, and the 10,000 Ants Desert in the west. Jiao did not have many good relationships in the 7 southern regions. The 100 Beasts Forest only had these 2 brothers, and there was a big ant in the 10,000 Ants Desert that it was on good terms with. Previously, Jiao had considered asking the big ant for help, but then it was afraid of attracting the attention of the 10,000 Ants Desert's Beast King, so it did not go. Now, seeing that Chef's people could not catch up, and that the Wood King had entered the 10,000 Ants Desert, Jiao began calling for help. Roar, roar, roar. The Jiao roared, "Bro, block the road. There's something good for you." If Chef didn't give it more than 100 pieces of imperishable substance this time, it would go to the 100 Beasts Forest to complain that Chef killed the messenger. In front of them, the ants seemed to be hesitating. However, after Jiao roared for a while more, a few of the giant ants rose into the air and flew towards the edge of the area. At this moment, the Sky Gate City Lord's expression changed drastically. He roared, "Golden Ant King, this king has received the true king's order." "Creak, creak," a gigantic golden ant replied for a while. "You can fight, but you can't come to the 10,000 Ants Desert." The 10,000 Ants Desert ran from the north to the south. As for the Wood King, he would go through the Forbidden Sea. This was the rule of the Forbidden Area. The Wood King dared to trespass into the 10,000 Ants Desert, but there were still 4 King Realm experts in the 10,000 Ants Desert. The Lord of Sky Gate City was so angry that he was about to vomit blood. At the same time, the person he hated the most was not Wu Quishan, but the Jiao. Because of the golden-horned Beast King, he was entangled, causing the divine tree to fall. Because of the golden-horned Beast King, he passed through the 10,000 Ants Desert. If it was any other day, he could just flash past, and these giant ants would not do anything. This was only the edge of the 10,000 Ants Desert, not the core of the Forbidden Area. But because of the golden-horned Beast King, the demons of the 10,000 Ants Desert appeared and stopped him. "Damn it! Golden-horned Beast, you colluded with the resurrected martial artist. From now on, there will be no place for you in the 7 southern regions." The Sky Gate City Lord was about to explode. He did not fall at the hands of the Snake King, but at the hands of this beast. It was so frustrating. Roar, roar. "Beast, don't think I don't know that the incident at Hedgehog Ridge was most likely your doing. Do you think no one knows that your strength has improved greatly? The 100 Beasts Forest has been suspicious for a long time. This time, you're playing the same trick. You're courting death." The Sky Gate City Lord also roared, exposing the Jiao's true colors. After that incident, the golden-horned beast's strength increased dramatically. Actually, the Sky Gate City Lord was already suspicious, and so was the 100 Beasts Forest. But the incident was over, and there was no way to find out how the hedgehog beast died. But now, the Snake King had a divine weapon in his hand and was stained with the aura of the divine wood. Everything was clear. The resurrected martial artist and the golden-horned beast had long colluded. Back then, the Snake King must have secretly killed the Hedgehog Beast King that guarded the gate. The golden-horned beast devoured the Hedgehog Beast King, and that was how its strength increased. Now, this human and demon had joined forces again. It was really hateful. The Sky Gate City Lord roared, and the Jiao also roared, refusing to admit it. How could it do such a thing? It didn't do it. Its strength increased greatly because it was talented, and because it had escaped from death last time. It did not kill the Hedgehog Beast King. The Jiao roared. Seeing that the two brothers were looking at it, it roared angrily again. It didn't do it. Besides, so what if it did? The two of you also killed the emissary. At most, they would set up their own forbidden area. What was there to be afraid of? The two monsters seemed to be thinking about something, but soon they stopped thinking. The golden-horned beast was right. They did it. In the 100 Beasts Forest, the rank 9 Beast Kings monopolized all the resources. They, who had hopes of becoming rank 9, would not be given the opportunity to enjoy the life mine. There were only so many Beast Kings, and it was not enough to share. If a few more rank 9 Beast Kings came, wouldn't the other Beast Kings' current resources decrease? Because of this, the 100 Beasts Forest had not produced a new king for a long time. Not only the 100 Beasts Forest, but the entire catacombs was the same. There was only one rank 9 city lord in each city. Could there really only be one rank 9? The strong would not let the weak rise and be on equal footing with them. There was only one king in each city. If 2 kings existed, where would they go? Some rank 8 venerables could not break through because of a lack of resources. Some simply died without knowing why. Of course, a more broad-minded city lord would send these rank 8 powerhouses to the restricted area, which could also avoid internal strife. However, within the imperial sea mountain of the 7 southern regions was the Monster Life Royal Court. The Monster Life clan could still send people into the Forbidden Zone, but it was too difficult for the Monster Plant clan. The Forbidden Zone would take away some people, but they would never take away a lot of people. The Forbidden Zone would only take some young and talented martial artists. The older generation martial artists would rarely be taken away. That would squeeze the resources of the Forbidden Zone's powerhouses. The catacombs humans were like this, and the demons were even more so. The powerful Beast King was suppressing them, not giving them the chance to level up. This was a rare opportunity, so killing the emissary wasn't a big deal. The Lord of Sky Gate City was still shouting angrily, and the Jiao was also roaring continuously. Meanwhile, Wu Quishan and Old Man Li were beaming with joy. The Lord of Sky Gate City had no way of escaping. In front of them was the 10,000 Ants Desert. Old Man Li surrounded them from the north, while Wu Quishan chased them from the back. At that moment, the Sky Gate City Master would either cross the 10,000 Ant Desert or enter the sea. At the edge of the 10,000 Ants Desert, the Sky Gate City Lord had exposed the Jiao's true colors. His eyes were cold, but he stopped in his tracks. Where should I go? Traversing the 10,000 Ant Desert, but there were many ant tribes in the 10,000 Ant Desert. Traversing the 10,000 Ant Desert would be equivalent to challenging the Forbidden Land if one had already rejected it in advance. The Forbidden Sea, going to the Forbidden Sea, was courting death. The Forbidden Sea was full of danger. He could not sense any movement under the sea. If a rank 9 monster attacked, he might not even be able to react in time. Fine, you guys force my hand. At that moment, the Lord of Skygate City looked at Wu Quishan and Old Man Li. Compared to the few Beast Kings in the Forbidden Land and the Forbidden Sea, these two were nothing. The Snake King had self-destructed his divine weapon. Although the other MCMAU powerhouse had the ability to kill a rank 9, the other party's aura was not too strong. Such an ultimate move could not be used more than a few times, or it could not be used at all. King Huai, the Lord of Sky Gate City, looked in the direction of Mount Imperial Sea. Was the King Huai entangled, or had he given up on him? If he gave up on him, even if he ran to the bounded zone, what could he do? From now on, he could not return to Monsterwood City, nor could he go to the Forbidden Zone. Was he supposed to wander around the 7 southern regions? The Bamboo King hates me for betraying him. If the King Huai gives up on me, then I'll turn to the Green Wolf King. Betraying the Monster Plant clan and turning to the Monster Life clan was a taboo in the catacombs. However, now that the situation had come to this, the Lord of Sky Gate City did not care anymore. Presumably, the Green Wolf King would not reject the surrender of a rank 9 powerhouse. With these thoughts in mind, the Lord of Sky Gate City did not wait for the two to converge. In the next moment, he broke through the air and slashed at Wu Quishan with his axe. At this moment, Wu Quishan wore an extremely cold smile on his face. He also held a black greatsword in his hand, roared, and slashed wildly. Rumble! The axe and sword collided. Both of them took a few steps back, the bones in their hands shattered. Golden blood rolled and dripped. The aftershock shattered countless golden sand on the ground. Be *starred. You have nowhere to run now. Run? I just don't want to do useless things. Since you guys are chasing me relentlessly, I'll fulfill your wish. As they spoke, the two of them brandished their weapons and fought again. Just as Zhang Tao said, in a fight between powerhouses, close combat was a battle of life and death. When they fought in the air, it was either the powerhouse killing the weak or testing each other out. It looked spectacular, but in reality, it was not that dangerous. Only close combat was a sign of life and death. As the two of them fought, the axe and sword intertwined. Wu Quishan fought with all his might. Every move was fatal, and he never defended. In a short moment, the golden body on Wu Quishan's chest exploded, and the Lord of Sky Gate City's shoulder blade was pierced. From the north, Old Man Li had also rushed over. This time, he was no longer fishing in troubled waters. His long sword slashed domineeringly at times, and sometimes it was like a ghost breaking through the air suddenly. After fighting for a while, the Lord of Sky Gate City suddenly burst into laughter. Ha ha! So it's an outburst that consumes vitality. I thought you were a hidden king level, so that's how it is. Under Old Man Li's full attack, he could no longer hide the loss of vitality. This time, the Lord of Sky Gate City could not help but laugh. As long as a powerhouse like this was not cut by the other party's outburst, he was useless. Even if it was a battle of attrition, he would die. Old Man Li snorted coldly. Without another word, he took out a ball of golden substance and swallowed it. In the next moment, he recovered to his peak state. The imperishable substance also had the effect of life essence. Seeing this scene, a fierce look flashed in the Lord of Sky Gate City's eyes. The outcome of this battle had something to do with the imperishable substance, the divine weapons held by the MCMU people, and those few beasts. Fong Ping. At this moment, the Lord of Sky Gate City thought of someone. He thought of the guy who kept providing imperishable substance to the golden-horned beast. A mere commander-level martial artist actually had so much imperishable substance. No wonder the venerables and commander-level martial artists died one after another at Monsterwood City. With that guy around, constantly restoring the strongest combat strength for the others. Although everyone still died too quickly, even if it dragged on, Monsterwood City would probably still be defeated. Thoughts aside, the battle between the powerhouses did not stop for even a moment. The Lord of Sky Gate City was not fighting for his life. Instead, he was focusing on defense. He did not believe that if it dragged on, could the other parties let them continue fighting? Until now, no true king's mentality had probed over. He was more willing to believe that King Huai had indeed been stopped. Even if he could stop King Huai, could he keep stopping Green Wolf King? 7 southern regions was Green Wolf King's territory, although Snake King, who had lost his divine weapon, was not at a disadvantage when the long sword in his hand collided with the Lord of Sky Gate City's giant axe. The Snake King, who had just obtained the divine weapon, could not exert its full effect at all. Without a convenient divine weapon in hand, they were almost on par. As for the one next to him, the Lord of Sky Gate City only needed to observe the loss of his vitality to know how strong he was. He was not much of a threat. Just as the 3 of them were fighting, the Jiao arrived. The Jiao did not participate in the battle. Instead, it stood in the air, roaring continuously. "Villain, who killed the messenger?" This was the meaning of the Jiao's roar. It was here to denounce this villain. As for participating in the battle, killing the Wood King was useless. It had to be careful that the Wood King would kill it in desperation. It would not participate in the battle. Being able to help Chef's people stop the Wood King was already the limit. The Lord of Sky Gate City glanced at the monsters from the corner of his eyes. Seeing that they were not participating, he did not say a word and did not provoke the golden-horned beast anymore. If he said more nonsense now, the 3-rank 8 monsters would join the battle, and he would be in trouble. As for denouncing him, whatever, whether it was true or not, it was not up to the golden-horned beast to say it. As the 3 of them fought, every move was fatal. Although the Lord of Sky Gate City mainly defended, he attacked Old Man Li from time to time. He had already realized that the Snake King was more difficult to kill. Although Old Man Li held a rank 9 divine weapon and had strong combat strength, every sword even carried a sense of destruction. The other party's vitality was flowing away. As this flowed away, his combat strength was declining. Not only that the Snake King attacked now, every move was desperate, also carrying imperishable substance attacks, but the other one did not. He was using his vitality to attack. The Lord of Sky Gate City was emboldened. A martial artist like this could still stand a chance against a typical rank 9, or he who did not have a divine weapon. However, he had a divine weapon in his hand. The divine weapon had long become one with him, and his combat strength had skyrocketed. The other party was not a match for him at all. The divine weapon in the Lord of Sky Gate City's hand was now at his will. Defense, attack, everything was done flawlessly. He was not in a hurry. If he dragged it on, he would exhaust Old Man Li to death. He was not afraid of the Snake King, who did not have a divine weapon. At this moment, on the Jiao's side, watching the show from the sidelines, a giant golden ant flew over and exchanged a few words with it. The Jiao also responded with a few words. It was fine to just watch the show. There was no need to participate in the battle. Killing the Wood King was a good thing. If it could not be killed, it did not matter. The Wood King would be gone soon anyway. At this moment, the Jiao wanted to go back and get the giant ore. It could not wait anymore. Just as the 3 people in front were killing until golden blood was dripping, Chen Yaoding arrived with Lu Fengru. Seeing the 4 rank 8 monsters gathered together, Chen Yaoding's face was full of vigilance. Demonic beasts were not really harmless. If they really thought that these monsters were on their side when they held the Lord of Sky Gate City back then, they could only say that they were thinking too much. Monsters were very realistic. One could even say that there was no such thing as loyalty. Some rank 9 powerhouses could easily be betrayed when they subdued rank 7 monsters as mounts, not to mention these rank 8 powerhouses. Even rank 9 powerhouses could forget about subduing them. Be *starred. Lu Fengru did not look at the beasts. Instead, she stared at the Sky Gate city governor with bloodshot eyes. Chun Yaoting pressed down on her shoulders and growled, "Don't give them more trouble." Even he did not dare to get involved in the battle between these level 9 experts with divine weapons. If they were unarmed, it would be easier to deal with them. However, if one held a divine weapon, the divine weapon itself would not be very strong. However, if the heaven and earth energy or the power of annihilation erupted through the divine weapon, it would greatly increase one's strength. Such a powerhouse might not be able to kill Qin Yaoting in one hit, but it would not be difficult for him to kill Lu Fengru in one hit. Lu Fengru gritted her teeth, so hard that they were about to shatter. She glanced coldly at the Sky Gate city governor, but she did not step forward to join in. She was only an early stage rank, 7. If she went up, she would only be sending herself to her death. She would also disrupt the rhythm of Wu Quishen's team. However, seeing that Wu Quishen and Lu Fengru could not take down the other party within a short period of time, and Old Man Li's aura was starting to weaken, Lu Fengru was so anxious that she clenched her fists tightly, her veins popping out. Very soon, not far away, Fang Ping pulled Li Hansong along as he broke through the air. The Jiao roared as soon as Fang Ping arrived. Fang Ping's face turned purple when he heard the roar. "Mother **, you're eating again, and you still want to eat more? Are you a pig? How much of my imperishable substance have you eaten? Don't you have any idea? I asked you to kill the Sky Gate city governor before I give it to you. Now you're just watching the show, asking me to give you the imperishable substance. Do you really think I don't need to spend money? Kill this old dog, and I'll give it to you." Roar. The Jiao's eyes were filled with dissatisfaction. It was not very willing. "Kill him. I promise I'll give it to you. I'll give you a lot." Fang Ping said with a straight face, "You'll only get something in return if you give it. Whether you're a human or a demon, it's the same. Of course, King Jiao can attack me, but if you attack me, you won't get any of the imperishable substance." The Jiao was still thinking. Once again, 3 large lumps of imperishable substance appeared in Fang Ping's hand. He said in a low voice, "This is the down payment. I only want him dead." At this moment, before the Jiao could say anything, the giant ant suddenly became restless. Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. He growled, "I have the true King Patriarch watching the battle from Mount Royal Sea." Despite what he said, the giant ant was still restless. Just as King Huai could not interfere, the human's apex could not interfere either. From thousands of miles away, the apex could not kill a rank 8. Usually, the apex could not even enter the outskirts. Since that was the case, Fang Ping's wealth had naturally attracted the attention of this monster. The Jiao growled in a low voice. It stopped the giant ant. Now was not the time to kill Chef. It was still hoping that Chef's patriarch could suppress King Huai. Fang Ping did not waste any time. He threw the 3 large lumps of imperishable substance to the Jiao. As for the giant ant, it was not participating in the battle, so Fang Ping was not going to give it to it. However, he would have to restrain himself from now on. This was the territory of the 10,000 Ants Desert. The Jiao distributed the 3 lumps of imperishable substance to the other 3 monsters, then looked at Fang Ping. Fang Ping's expression was dark. "Very good, using my things to buy people's hearts. You're ruthless. If King Jiao is participating, then everything will be yours." Roar. The Jiao shook its huge head, still not very happy. It had already helped Chef to stop the people. Fang Ping knew that the monster had its reservations. It was worried that the Sky Gate City Lord would fight to the death and kill it in one last blow. The probability of that happening was not impossible, When it came to the last moment, when it was hopeless and it was difficult to kill a rank 9, then it would kill a rank 8 monster. Who was the most suitable to kill? The Jiao, of course. Fang Ping saw that the Jiao was unwilling. He thought for a moment, then set up a mentality barrier and said, "King Jiao, you don't need to kill him. Just force him into the Forbidden Sea." This place was less than 1,000 meters away from the Forbidden Sea, with Wu Quishan and the 3 monsters working together. Forcing the opponent into the Forbidden Sea was not a problem. The Jiao's eyes flashed with doubt. The Forbidden Sea was dangerous, but that was only in the central area. The periphery might not necessarily have monsters lurking. It could only be said that there might be monsters, even if the Wood King was forced into the Forbidden Sea. So what? If there were no monsters at the bottom of the sea, or if the monsters were not strong, then the Wood King would not be affected. King Jiao, you don't need to worry about this. As long as you force the opponent into the Forbidden Sea, our deal is done. I will give you 10 lumps of imperishable substance, like this. You don't need to kill him or even hurt him. If you are not willing to pay this price, then you can go collect the giant mine now. That was what Fang Ping said, but his heart was burning with impatience. Agree quickly. 3 rank. 8 monsters could really turn the tide of the battle. As for collecting the giant mine, the Jiao should stop dreaming. The Jiao hesitated for a moment, then roared at the monsters around it. After a while, the Jiao roared at Fang Ping 5 times. Fang Ping's face darkened again. He gritted his teeth, condensed another 5 lumps of imperishable substance, and threw them over. The Jiao's big eyes lit up. It collected 2 lumps, 1 for each monster, and 1 for the remaining 3 lumps. Then, not only the 3 rank, 8 monsters, but the giant ant also rushed over at the same time. This time, even Wu Quishan and Old Man Li were shocked, hurriedly dodging. When they saw the 4 rank, 8 monsters besieging the Sky Gate City Lord, they breathed a sigh of relief. Fang Ping shouted, "Teacher Li, come back first." Old Man Li looked much older now, but he did not delay. With 4 rank, 8 monsters joining the battle, they were stronger than him. The Sky Gate City Lord had suffered a lot. As soon as Old Man Li returned, Fang Ping condensed large lumps of imperishable substance and poured them into Old Man Li's body. A lot. He did not give him life essence. The effect of that thing might not be better than the imperishable substance. Moreover, he had not calculated his wealth yet, so he might as well use the imperishable substance. Teacher, don't be frugal. Also, hit the Sky Gate City Lord into the Forbidden Ocean. I'll lure the monsters in the Forbidden Ocean. Fang Ping's eyes flashed. There are many rank 9 monsters in the Forbidden Ocean. I'll release some imperishable substance secretly. I'll definitely attract strong monsters. When the time comes, when you guys hit the Sky Gate City Lord into the ocean, I'll hit him with large lumps of imperishable substance. The monsters will attack. Old Man Li's eyes lit up. The imperishable substance was also a destructive force. When used as an offensive force, it could have a strong attack power. However, it was not used to attack, but condensed into lumps to hit people. That was a treasure that everyone dreamed of. Old Man Li did not say much. Soon, he rushed into the battle circle. When 2 humans and 4 monsters joined forces, it was definitely comparable to 3 rank 9 powerhouses joining forces. Even Nan Yunyue might not be able to withstand such a lineup. Naturally, the Sky Gate City Lord could not either. However, Fang Ping could still see that Old Man Li was not a true rank 9. If he did not unleash a full force attack, he would not have the combat strength of a rank 9. The 4 monsters did not have the intention to fight to their deaths. Although Wu Quishan wanted to fight to his death, his divine weapon was not very convenient. Against the Skygate City Lord, who had a divine weapon, he did not have an overwhelming advantage. At this moment, Zhang Tao's voice rang in Fang Ping's ears. 3 minutes at most. We can't hold them off anymore. Once the Green Wolf King intervenes, the war will end. Fang Ping's eyes showed a hint of urgency. 3 minutes was too short. It might not be able to attract strong monsters. That Jiao fellow was not going to fight to his death. Otherwise, if the 4 rank 8 monsters fought to their deaths, 1 or 2 of them died, it would definitely be able to severely injure the Skygate City Lord and create an opportunity for Old Man Li. Fang Ping also knew that there was not much hope in relying on these monsters to fight to their deaths. It was better to rely on oneself than on others. However, seeing that he was only left with about 35 million wealth points, Fang Ping could not help but curse in his heart. Jiao had wasted too much of his wealth points. He still had 50 million before, but Jiao had asked for it for a while. In addition to Old Man Li's recovery, he had spent more than 10 million. This was not killing people, it was killing me. It was stabbing my heart piece by piece. Fang Ping glanced at Lu Fengru, who had an expectant look on her face. This was probably the first time Lu Fengru had shown such a weak attitude in front of her student. She was begging Fang Ping, hoping that he could help her. Fang Ping looked helpless. He smiled bitterly. Instructor, 1,000 credits. I accepted this mission. This is the worst deal I've ever made in my life. After saying that, Fang Ping headed straight for the Forbidden Sea. If he really killed the Skygate City Lord this time, Old would have to write him an IOU of 1 trillion. Sigh, I can't make a move at absolute peak. Otherwise, I could spend 1 trillion and hire Old Zhang to kill 7 or 8 rank 9s. Fang Ping sighed in his heart. Definitely, maybe even 10 would not be a problem. 100 billion to kill a rank 9. It was not money, but imperishable substances of the same value. Old Zhang would most likely have no objections. After this war, he would not suffer a loss, would he? Fang Ping did not delay any further. Very soon, he landed at the edge of the Forbidden Sea. Fang Ping was extremely careful. This godforsaken place was very complicated. Mentality could not penetrate the water surface. He could not even see clearly. Who knew if there were rank 9 monsters below? If he suddenly went berserk, the rank 9 would drag him down at once. Then, he would just be waiting for death. Fang Ping did not dare to get too close. He signaled Iron Head and the rest who followed him to move further away. Only then did he condense a few balls of imperishable substances and threw them into the sea. 1 ball, 2 balls, Fang Ping made a small ball of imperishable substances. 1 ball cost more than 100,000 wealth. He did not know if the powerful monsters would sense it if it was missing. Just like that, Fang Ping threw hundreds of balls down. This time, it was another expenditure of tens of millions. Fang Ping's face was deathly pale. Chun Yaoting and the rest who were far away thought that he was injured. However, they did not know that Fang Ping's heart was badly hurt. It was an irreparable injury. This time, from preparing for the war until now, he had really spent hundreds of millions of wealth points. Chapter 628. At the same time, Fang Ping tossed the imperishable substance. Wu Quishan and Old Man Li fought with all their might. Old Man Li even used the slash that killed a rank 9 earlier. The moment the void rift appeared, even the few giant ants in the 10,000 ants desert stopped in their tracks, collectively silent. Was this a powerhouse from the land of rebirth? He was too strong. Although Old Man Li, who had unleashed this attack, was once again dispirited, this attack was not in vain. On the Skygate City Lord's giant axe, a tiny crack appeared. Both his arms exploded, and the flesh on his shoulders was cut and swallowed by the space. He dodged the attack forcefully, but a few cracks still slashed across him, almost cutting his right arm off completely. If he was hit by this attack head-on, he would lose half of his combat strength in an instant. The possibility of death was not high unless the cracks split his skull directly. However, he had taken precautions. It was difficult for the other party to do so. Old Man Li had just become dispirited when Wu Quishan seized the opportunity to unleash an attack. This time, Wu Quishan gave it his all. Blood red appeared on the divine weapon, a sign of the blood saber technique. Wu Quishan combined his strength. Although it was not completely exhausted, he gave it his all and unleashed a slash. Once again, the Skygate City Lord was pushed back hundreds of meters, golden blood spurting from his mouth. Damn it! At this time, the Skygate City Lord was also heavily injured. If this went on, he would be done for if it happened a few more times. Fortunately, both of them were slightly dispirited after unleashing an attack. Fang Ping could not come to the rank 9 battlefield now. He could not be their healer. In fact, Fang Ping was in a difficult position now. The 2 rank 9s were gold-swallowing monsters. He could not take it anymore. Now he could only try to force the Skygate City Lord into the Forbidden Sea. King Jiao. Fang Ping, who had already thrown away a large amount of imperishable substance, roared, signaling Jiao and the rest to help. The Skygate City Lord was already close to the Forbidden Sea. Jiao heard Fang Ping's roar and roared too. Leading the 3 monsters in an attack, the Skygate City Lord was once again sent flying backward. Wu Quishan's face was pale. He attacked again. Wu Quishan, Old Man Li, and the 4 monsters took turns to attack, forcing the other party into the Forbidden Sea. Soon, the Skygate City Lord approached the Forbidden Sea. Skygate City Lord was no fool. Upon seeing this, he suddenly sneered and spat out a mouthful of blood. He said with a smile, "You want this king to enter the sea? Dream on." He did not know what Fang Ping had done, nor did he have the time to care about these people. However, the catacombs powerhouses feared the Forbidden Sea more than anything else. They would rather fight on land, even if they had to fight to the end of their lives, than enter the sea. At this moment, they were only a few dozen meters away from the Forbidden Sea. However, even though the Lord of Skygate City was severely injured, he did not retreat an inch. The Lord of Skygate City sneered as he fought Wu Quishan. The true king of the Land of Rebirth has stopped King Huai, and the rest, if this king didn't guess wrong, it should be soon. Duke, Huai won't let you seal off the 7 southern regions forever. Not even the Green Wolf King. Snake King, are you in such a hurry to kill me? If that's the case, the true king of the Land of Rebirth won't be able to stop him. Snake King, you can't kill me. The Lord of Skygate City laughed loudly. He laughed so hard that blood kept gushing out, but he still laughed wildly and roared, "Lord Scholar Tree King, the war is over." Wu Quishan did not say a word, but he was also ruthless. He erupted wildly, using the imperishable substance as a destructive force, hitting the Lord of Skygate City until he spat out blood. "If you keep fighting, I might be exhausted to death by you, but how much time do you have left?" At this moment, Old Man Li and the rest had sealed off his escape routes from 3 other directions, trying to force him into the sea. The more they did so, the more unwilling the Lord of Skygate City was to enter the sea. Seeing that time was running out, Wu Quishan roared madly, abandoning his great sword and throwing it to Fang Ping. His fists were golden as he hammered the Lord of Skygate City madly. As he hammered, he roared, "Changshen again!" Old Man Li's expression changed slightly. Wu Quishan wanted him to strike again. Fang Ping had given him a lot of imperishable substance earlier. so he could strike again. However, both of them were so close now. He was very confident in his swordsmanship. He was confident that he would not hit the wrong person. He was confident that he would not lose control of his strength and hit Wu Quishan. The key was that if he went all out, he would slash a void rift. That thing was really not under his control. To a rank 9 powerhouse, a void rift was also an existence that could not be resisted. It would be fine if it cut the flesh, but if it cut the head, hurry. Old Man Li was really hesitant. This was the first time he hesitated on whether to draw his sword. It's too late. Wu Quishan roared suddenly. The Lord of Skygate City spat blood wildly, but he laughed maniacally. Ha ha ha, Lord Green Wolf King. Sir, I've lost. The war should end. He did not say anything about seeking refuge. The Green Wolf King's mentality enveloped him, which meant that he was indeed sealed. Now that the Green Wolf King was here, the Huai King should be here soon. After all, he was one of the top powerhouses in the 7 Southern Territory. The Green Wolf King would not sit and watch him die. If he did not see it, so be it. If he did, he would just pass on the message. The Huai King had ended the war. Everything should end. In the void, a sonorous voice came. Monsterwood City has lost. The war should end. Just as the Lord of Skygate City thought, the Lord of Skygate City was still a powerhouse of the 7 Southern Territory. Although he was a powerhouse of the Monster Plant Clan, he had also agreed to this war. Now, he was the arbitrator. Seeing that the Lord of Skygate City was no match, he naturally had to end this war. No, Wu Quishan was filled with unwillingness and madness. He could not accept this. He hated himself for being powerless. If he was given a little more time, the heavily injured Lord of Skygate City would not survive. No, he still had a chance. The next moment, Wu Quishan's body turned blood red. Seeing this, Fong Ping suddenly cursed. Did I pay a huge price just to let you die? The Green Wolf King's words do not count. The Huai King did not end the bet. His words do not count. Quick, kill him. As soon as he said that, Old Man Li did not hesitate anymore. If he hesitated any longer, he would not have another chance. Insolence. The Green Wolf King was furious. He was a true king powerhouse. He said to end the war, but now a commander-level martial artist dared to refute him. Fong Ping shouted, "This is the bet between the Martial King and the Huai King." As soon as he said that, the Green Wolf King's cold snort exploded in Fong Ping's ears. The next moment, from afar, 3 powerful mentalities swept over at the same time. The moment the Green Wolf King transmitted his voice, he had already conveyed everything to the Huai King. He did not care to kill a rank 9 under the Huai King's command. There was no need. Air-piercing, Old Man Li roared. He could not care so much anymore. Kill him first. As for Wu Quishan, if he was affected, then so be it. He would think of a way to save his own life. He slashed with his sword. Wu Quishan also roared. The blood-red color on his body intensified, and he punched. Boom. A loud sound reverberated. The Lord of Skygate City also roared crazily. The golden color on his body intensified. The war was over. These people were counting on this moment to kill him. How could it be so easy? He was forced back a few steps by Wu Quishan's punch. The next moment, Old Man Li's sword aura arrived. In the void, many black cracks appeared again. The air-piercing technique he used was Li Zhen's signature move. Combined with his swordsmanship, he slashed with his sword. The Lord of Skygate City roared again. Before the sword aura arrived, many bloody marks had already appeared on his body. Golden blood rolled and dripped into the sea. At this moment, he had been forced to retreat to the Forbidden Sea. Even so, the Lord of Skygate City forcefully twisted his body and still managed to avoid the sword that was aimed at his head. The cracks exploded. One of the Lord of Skygate City's arms was instantly crushed. However, the Lord of Skygate City still laughed loudly. The next moment, a loud voice came again. It was cold and indifferent. The war is over. No, Wu Quishan and Lu Fengru's eyes were bloodshot. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. If they had a few more minutes, they would have killed the Lord of Skygate City. But now, a true king powerhouse had appeared. Killing the Lord of Skygate City would put Zhang Tao under great pressure. He might even face the predicament of the previous bet being torn up. Wu Quishan knew what this meant, but he was not resigned to it. He hated himself for being powerless. Why could he not kill the enemy with one sword? This war with Skygate City really made him feel powerless. He thought that he was very powerful. However, reality proved that he was nothing. He could not kill the enemy above his rank. The Catacombs Castellans were stronger than he had imagined after wielding divine weapons. He thought that he was very powerful. However, reality proved that he was not. Lu Fengru's eyes were also red. She flew toward the Forbidden Sea. Chen Yaoding grabbed her. No matter how much she struggled, he did not let go of her. At this moment, Fang Ping casually tossed out a ball of golden light. He snorted coldly. The war is over. Then I'll send you to heal your injuries. Heal your injuries and wait for me to kill you. A look of extreme surprise flashed across the Lord of Skygate City's eyes. He felt that it was imperishable substance. It was imperishable substance that did not have any offensive ability. It was not destructive force. At this moment, he was really a little surprised. No, something was wrong. How could it be possible? How could the enemy send him imperishable substance to heal his injuries? There was a conspiracy. When Fang Ping tossed out this ball of imperishable substance, even the few paragons who radiated their mentality did not make a sound. At this moment, what should they say? The war was over. The Catacombs' true king did not allow humans to kill the Lord of Skygate City. However, he had sent out imperishable substance and had no intention of attacking. When Fang Ping tossed out this ball of imperishable substance, the Jiao opened its mouth wide. Its eyes were filled with excitement. So many. It wanted to eat it too. However, this ball of imperishable substance was extremely fast. It headed straight for the Lord of Skygate City. The Jiao looked at the sky above the Forbidden Sea. It hesitated for a moment. It did not dare to snatch it. The Lord of Skygate City frowned. He moved his body instantly, avoiding the imperishable substance. A conspiracy. It must be so. At this moment, he was severely injured. Indeed, he needed a large amount of imperishable substance to heal. However, he would not use it on the enemy. Who knew what the enemy wanted to do? He might as well wait for himself to recover. As he was thinking, in the next second, a large number of limbs suddenly shot out from under the water. There were tentacles, claws, and pincers. Most of these limbs swept toward that ball of imperishable substance. There were also many monsters that targeted the Lord of Skygate City. There was no other reason. A heavily injured rank. 9 was also a great tonic. If they dragged him down and ate him, they might be able to comprehend the other's origin. No, the Lord of Skygate City roared in fear. He hurried toward the Forbidden Sea. However, he did not see that when Fang Ping tossed this ball of imperishable substance, he had tossed 7 or 8 balls of imperishable substance to the Jiao. The Jiao was dumbfounded because Chef had sent it a voice transmission asking it to do something bad. To do it or not. To do it or not. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. Achoo. In the next moment, An earth-shattering sneeze was mixed with a lot of energy, destructive energy, celestiality, mentality, all at once. The Jiao looked at it innocently. I sneezed. It's okay, right? This ball of mixed energy was also mixed with some messy things. Fong Ping felt disgusted just looking at it. The Jiao was already rank 8. Motherf asterisk cur. Why did it still have these things in its body? And this ball of black stuff shot out. In the blink of an eye, it hit the Lord of Skygate City, who was running back. The Lord of Skygate City had been seriously injured by Wu Quishan and Old Man Li. The monsters at the bottom of the sea had their eyes on him and were pestering him. This sneeze was the full-force sneeze of a rank 8 monster. When it collided with him, he took a step back. This step had also become an eternal farewell. No, the Lord of Skygate City's face was full of madness and indignation. He had already escaped. He had already escaped from the hands of the Snake King and the others, but in the end, he had actually been tricked by a monster. At this moment, the Lord of Skygate City did not look at anyone. His blood-red eyes were fixed on the Jiao. Behind him, at this moment, 4 or 5 monster limbs instantly entangled him. Golden-horned beast. The roar, which was filled with extreme resentment, spread over a radius of 100 miles. The Jiao looked at it innocently. I really could not help but sneeze. In the blink of an eye, the Lord of Skygate City did not even have time to self-destruct. He was directly dragged into the water. The seawater began to churn violently. Golden blood began to gush out. Fong Ping did not know if the Lord of Skygate City had killed the monster, or if the monster was eating the Lord of Skygate City. However, Fong Ping felt that he did not have to think too much. There were more than 10 types of monster limbs that had just emerged, and they were all extremely powerful. If the heavily injured Lord of Skygate City could survive this, Fong Ping felt that he should just die. The only regret was that he could not see the other party die with his own eyes. Until this moment, perhaps because the coverage of mentality was too wide, there was some delay. King Huai suddenly said angrily, "Good, very good." When he announced the end of the war, one of the commanders of the resurrected martial artists threw out the imperishable substance. As for the golden-horned beast, it was a rank 8 monster, and it actually sneezed. Green Wolf King, I want to kill it. I must. I must. At this moment, King Huai was extremely sure. He wanted to kill this monster. It was too crazy. This demonic beast had been participating in the battle from the very beginning and had ruined his plans. Now, it had even killed his last divine general in the 7 southern regions. If he did not kill the golden-horned beast, he, King Huai, would not have the face to go back. As soon as he finished speaking, King Huai shouted angrily again, "Martial King, War King, I admit defeat, but I want to enter the territory. I promise that I will not attack the resurrected martial artists. I will only kill these few monsters." At this moment, King Huai was furious. His great event was ruined by a few extremely stupid demonic beasts. He was not willing to accept this. Beside him, the Jiao's eyes were dull. Roar, roar, roar. The Jiao roared hurriedly. I was just a villain who chased after the messenger, and I only sneezed, "King Crocodile, I want to kill it myself. Does 100 Beasts Forest have any objections?" King Huai's voice was extremely cold. In the distance, a rank 9 Beast King that had not arrived yet roared a few times. 100 Beasts Forest had no objections. This time, the golden-horned beast had offended King Huai. 100 Beasts Forest was not willing to completely fall out with King Huai for a rank 8 monster. What's more, these demonic beasts were restless. On the way here, King Crocodile had passed by Monster Phoenix City and understood some of the situation. The golden-horned beast said that it was chasing after the Wood King to avenge Hundred Beasts Forest. But this guy had been eyeing Monster, Wood City's giant mine, who in Hundred Beasts Forest did not know about it. A restless monster that wanted to break through to the next realm. Hundred Beasts Forest did not need such a subordinate. Roar, roar, roar. The Jiao was completely anxious and hurriedly roared at Fang Ping. It was customary for true kings not to enter. Moreover, it was Fang Ping who ordered it to do this. He said that it would be fine. His ancestor was at Imperial Sea Mountain. As long as his ancestor did not let King Huai enter, no matter how angry King Huai was, it would be useless. Would Hundred Beasts Forest attack it personally? No way. The other cities would not either because they were not King Huai's people, and its brothers were extremely strong. Seeing this, Fang Ping sighed and said loudly, "Ancestor, true kings not entering, can you save the Jiao's life?" Fang Ping, Zhang Tao's voice sounded slowly, calmly saying, "This is an internal dispute in the catacombs. It has nothing to do with us humans. The war is over, we humans won, and King Huai is willing to admit defeat. Since he promised not to attack human martial artists, then everything ends here. If King Huai wants to enter, I will not stop him. Of course, I will accompany King Huai. Accompanying, that was to prevent King Huai from rushing into the passage and entering Earth. As for killing the Jiao, what did it have to do with him?" "Ancestor." Fang Ping's face was full of anger as he roared. "No, the Jiao helped us this time. Without them, we would not have won the war. Ancestor, please save its life. I beg you." Fang Ping, sigh. "Silly child. Those who are not of the same race must have different intentions. The Jiao only attacked for the benefits, for the huge mine and the imperishable substance, not for you. I will not ruin my human affairs for the sake of a demon. The war is over. King Huai, let's enter together. Martial King, I am willing to admit defeat. This battle, the land of rebirth, has won. Then let's enter together." The next moment, in the direction of Imperial Sea Mountain, two towering auras erupted. The Jiao roared in horror. The other three demonic beasts were also terrified. The true king had entered. Imperial Sea Mountain was less than 2,000 li away. With the speed of a true king, they could reach it in no time. At this moment, Fang Ping's face was suddenly full of sorrow, and he said loudly, "Go quickly, run, go to the bounded domain, quick. King Jiao, I have dragged you into this, but it's too late." As soon as he finished speaking, Fang Ping threw out a large mass of imperishable substance and said loudly, "Take care. The King Huai dared not enter the bounded domain. Quick, cultivate hard, strive to enter the true king realm. King Jiao, I am useless. Roar." The Jiao roared indignantly. How could this be? The King Huai had entered. Catching the imperishable substance tossed by Fang Ping, the Jiao let out a wild roar. No one knew whether it was from anger, despair, or unwillingness, but it did not dare to stay any longer. With a roar, it led the three monsters in a frenzy, fleeing towards the bounded domain in the west. That speed, it was extremely fast. After waiting for them to run far away, Fang Ping said softly, "I have done you justice. We are even now." They had cooperated for the sake of benefits. After all, Fang Ping felt a little sad in his heart, but it was not to say that he was upset. He and the Jiao had cooperated for the sake of benefits from the beginning. The Jiao had cheated him many times, and he had cheated the Jiao. And this time, it had cheated the Jiao to the point that it would not dare to leave the bounded domain for the rest of its life. Moreover, it was hard to say whether they could reach the bounded domain. The Jiao and the other three monsters ran very fast. The monsters of the 10,000 Ants Desert did not stop them because one of their rank 8 venerables was among them, and this made the beast kings in the distance not come back to their senses. The true king had entered. These monsters, because of their greed, had no choice but to flee for their lives. No one knew if they could escape the true king's pursuit. At this moment, over at Imperial Sea Mountain, a pressure that pierced through the heavens, and the earth was also flying at extreme speed towards the bounded domain in the west. King Jiao, take care. Have a safe journey. You must stay alive. Fang Ping roared, his voice traveling dozens of miles. There is no one else who can compare to my sincerity. For a human and a monster to form such a friendship, it was rare to see. Roar. In the distance, the Jiao roared again. Fang Ping did not understand what it meant this time. Perhaps the Jiao was also very complicated. It seemed to have been cheated by Chef, but Chef had pleaded for it in front of the true king, even giving it a precious, imperishable substance before they parted, pointing out where it could run to escape. Did this count as being cheated? The Jiao did not know, so the Jiao was very complicated. Chun Yaoding and Ironhead were looking at Fang Ping with complicated expressions. You really have a bad conscience. Even Wu Quishan was crying and laughing at the same time. He was really crying. As he cried, watching the sea surface slowly calm down, he laughed and said in a hoarse voice, It is also my benefactor. The Jiao's sneeze had cut off the Sky Gate City Lord's last chance of survival. But now, the Jiao had suffered all of King Huai's anger. It was not good for King Huai to attack humans because it was a war, and in the end, Fang Ping had really given the imperishable substance, even though everyone knew that he wanted to kill the Sky Gate City Lord. But was giving the imperishable substance against the rules? King Huai did not know, and did not want to say. If the monsterwood city lord was dead, then so be it. But if he did not vent the anger in his heart, he was afraid that he would go crazy. So he wanted to vent, and the target was the Jiao. As for the Jiao, that sneeze in the end was also because of greed and Fang Ping's deception. Fang Ping said that the true king would not enter. This was the truth. There had not been a true king entering for many years. If the true king did not enter, it had nothing to fear. Even a rank 9 powerhouse would not dare to recklessly start a war with it. But the true king had entered. This was beyond everyone's expectations. On the other side, Lu Fengru was squatting on the ground and crying loudly, muttering duo air over and over again. Old Man Li's face was also full of tears. He was a little crazy, not caring about his old body. Victory! He had killed the executioner, the Sky Gate City Lord. 61 years. MCMAU had been at war for 61 years. Too many people had died. Relatives, friends, teachers, students, the blood feud of 61 years had been avenged with the death of the biggest executioner, the Sky Gate City Lord. Instructor. Revenge. Old Man Li had a head full of white hair. He was incomparably old, but he laughed hysterically. The longevity sword that he treasured and could not be touched by others was now tossed aside, like scrap metal. It was difficult for Fang Ping to feel this emotion. He wanted to kill the Sky Gate City Lord because of Wu Quishan, Lu Fengru, and the others. He was not too excited about killing the Sky Gate City Lord. He only felt that the war was finally over, and he could go and count his spoils. However, the few people present were a little crazy. Fang Ping did not say anything. These people needed to vent their frustrations. Wu Quishan's daughter, students, and friends had all died in the other's hands. Lu Fengru too. Although Old Man Li usually did not say much, 10 years of silence and the old vice-chancellor's death in battle had made him extremely depressed. After the old vice-chancellor died in battle, he rushed to the Nanjiang catacombs with the intention to die. As for Yu, although Fang Ping felt that it was not the right time to think about it, he could not help but think about it. Was she Old Man Li's lover? He knew that old man Li was not married. Could she be his childhood sweetheart? Every martial artist had a story, a past that they did not want to recall. Chapter 629. They laughed crazily and cried pitifully. Grandmaster powerhouses were invincible in the world. How could such powerhouses cry in front of others? Today, the three high grandmasters were sobbing. They could no longer care about their dignity or their manners. Sometimes they laughed wildly. Sometimes they cried. They were crazy. Fang Ping let out a long sigh. After a long sigh, Fang Ping's voice was choked with sorrow. This war, I'm bankrupt. Grandmaster powerhouses should not embarrass themselves in front of outsiders. Crying and grieving were not what powerhouses should do. However, since old Wu and the others did not care about their manners now, there was no need for him to hide anything. Cry, cry. Men should cry. Fang Ping was really sad. He used to think that he might not be able to finish spending trillions of wealth in his lifetime. Now, looking at the remaining 6 million or so points of wealth, Fang Ping was overwhelmed with grief. Before the war, his wealth was more than 120 million points. Now, there was only a fraction left. Qin Yaoding patted Fang Ping's shoulder lightly and said in a complicated tone, "Don't be too sad. Today is a happy occasion." This kid Fang Ping was also a sentimental person. He had been in school for less than 2 years. In these 2 years, there were not many people who died in MCMAU. He did not expect Fang Ping to be so sad. Ironhead's armor disappeared too. He comforted, "Fang Ping, revenge has been taken. Don't be sad." Sob, sob. Fang Ping's heart was filled with endless pain that could not be put into words. "You don't understand. You don't understand why I'm sad. After this battle, I'm going to break my bank account." Although everyone did not understand, Ironhead and Qin Yaoding comforted Fang Ping. For a while, when he was so sad, "Revenge has been taken. There are still many things waiting for everyone. Don't be sad." Wu Quishan and the others gradually returned to normal. When they saw Fang Ping's expression, they sighed in their hearts, not knowing what to say. Wu Quishan let out a long sigh. With this sigh, a powerful force spread from Wu Quishan's body. He laughed self-deprecatingly. Hindsight, if he had his current strength, he would not have ended up like this. He would not have nearly let his enemy escape in front of his eyes. Looking at the Forbidden Sea that was still tumbling not far away, Wu Quishan suddenly laughed, and then soared into the sky, heading straight for the Forbidden Sea. Fang Ping could not care less about his grief. He exclaimed, "Vice-Chancellor, rumble!" Before he finished speaking, Wu Quishan punched out and blasted a large golden pincer into two. At this moment, Wu Quishan's strength was shocking. "I will only take his head. Demon Kings, please grant my wish." Wu Quishan hollered and turned around to kick the void, breaking a tentacle. He roared once more, "I have no intention of becoming enemies with all of you Demon Kings. I want to offer the heads of the enemies to the dead. Rumble!" He didn't know if the demonic beasts in the sea heard him or if they understood him, but they continued to attack him. At this moment, Wu Quishan was so powerful that it shocked Fang Ping. He didn't use any divine weapons. With his bare hands, he punched and kicked, causing the limbs of those demonic beasts to continuously collapse and flesh and blood to fly everywhere. "I only want the enemy's head." Wu Quishan repeated it again and again. Punch after punch bombarded the surface of the sea. On the shore, Old Man Li's aura exploded as well. He roared, "Will only take his head. Please grant my wish." As soon as he finished speaking, Old Man Li slashed with his sword. Although he did not slash through the void this time, he managed to chop off a tentacle that was shooting toward him. These two powerhouses did not go deep into the Forbidden Sea. Instead, They stayed close to the shore, bombarding the surface of the sea continuously. Just like that, the battle went on for a few minutes. Suddenly, something shot out of the water. Wu Quishan reached out and caught it. Then, he retreated to the shore. Fong Ping fixed his eyes on it. It was a golden bone. Fong Ping also looked at his hand. When he saw that it was a golden bone, he could not help but say, "Vice Chancellor, this Skygate City Lord's leg bone." Wu Quishan shook his head and said helplessly, "The head was probably swallowed. Only this is left." "No, I mean," Fong Ping was stuttering. He could not help but ask, "How did you suddenly become so powerful? You were like a weak chicken earlier. Even with a divine weapon, you could not kill the Skygate tree. It was too easy for you to become stronger. Under the sea, there were at least 4 to 5 rank 9 demonic beasts. Although they did not come out of the water, only part of their torsos poked out of the water to fight Wu Quishan. They were definitely not weaker than the Skygate tree at its peak. In the end, they were actually scared by Wu Quishan and threw out a leg bone. Were the Forbidden Sea's demonic beasts so cowardly? Did they not know how to swim away? However, thinking about it, these demonic beasts might not have taken away all the imperishable matter clusters. Maybe they were still searching or waiting for new imperishable matter clusters. It was normal that they were unwilling to leave. Regardless, Fong Ping was still surprised that they were beaten by Old Wu until they admitted defeat. Wu Quishan did not say anything. Old Man Li, on the other hand, had returned to normal. He smiled and said, "Old Wu has more control over the origin path. The power that he can activate is also greater." Having said that, he added, "To put it more directly, the origin path is a road that is paved by oneself. Early stage rank. 9 is like laying a foundation and digging a shovel. I don't know where to pave the road. I don't know how long the road will be." Previously, Old Wu paved the road. It was about 3 to 5 meters long. There was a boulder in the way, so he could not pave it further. Now, he blew up this boulder and continued to pave it. In an instant, he paved a long road. If I put it this way, can you understand? Fong Ping nodded. Then he said quickly, "That Desperation Realm powerhouse paved this road to the end, and there is no more road in front. That's why many paragons are now starting to pave a second road." This, before Old Man Li could say anything, someone chuckled beside his ear. "The road has reached the end. There is no more road in front. However, how far the end of the road varies from person to person. Some people pave 1,000 meters and feel that the road has reached the end. Some people pave 2,000 meters before reaching the end. Therefore, there are strong and weak paragons. Paving a road does not mean that the more roads paved, the better. A paragon who built 2 1,000 meters roads may not be as good as a paragon who paved 2,000 meters of road. The reason why the second road is paved is to pave the road in front that has no direction, to pave a road that leads to heaven. If there are more roads, maybe a new road will appear in front. Do you understand? I understand. In other words, if your road is 2,000 meters long, the Heavenly King's Road is 1,000 meters long. Don't look down on the 2 roads. You don't have to be afraid of him, do you? Zhang Tao's tone faltered. Mother asterisk her. Did I say that? Are you trying to provoke an opponent for me? You want to trick me too? What should I say now? If I say it right, I'll be looking down on the Heavenly King. If I say it wrong, won't I be belittling myself? Before Zhang Tao said anything, Fong Ping said again, "Director, you said 1,000 meters and 2,000 meters. Instructor Li just said that the Vice-Chancellor used to walk 3 to 5 meters. I'm afraid it's a lot more now. Let's just say it's 10 meters. Is there such a big difference between him and a paragon?" Zhang Tao was a paragon who loved eavesdropping. He must have heard what Old Man Li said. Since he said 1,000 meters, Fong Ping felt that it might not necessarily be an imaginary number. You'll understand when you reach this realm. Director, how far away are you from us now? Fong Ping observed for a while. Zhang Tao was actually not with them. This old man was eavesdropping on them from afar. How shameless! More than 800 li. How much longer until he reaches us? You're really fast. How long will it take to reach us? I have to keep an eye on King Huai now. Understood. Fong Ping nodded. In other words, he would not be going to Skygate City for a while. Fong Ping ignored old Zhang. He could not interfere with old Zhang's business. He glanced at Wu Quishan and said, Vice Chancellor, let's go back to Skygate City. Wu Quishan glanced at him too. Very quickly he nodded and said, Okay. As he said that, he glanced at Lu Fengru, who was silent at the side. He did not say anything else. He grabbed Lu Fengru and soared into the air, flying in the direction of Skygate City. Fong Ping followed closely behind. They used the flight step together. Skygate City. The great battle was nearing its end. The sound of killing gradually dissipated. A few Grandmaster powerhouses had sealed off the mineral vein. Some were in the air, releasing pressure and intimidating their surroundings. They did not attack, but it was more intimidating than if they did. The Catacombs Royal City allowed human high-ranked powerhouses to use the flight step to intimidate their surroundings. There was no need to describe what this meant. More and more ordinary people dragged their families and fled from all directions. A large number of martial artists were killed on the spot. The armored martial artists were the targets of everyone in MCMAU. These armored martial artists were military martial artists. They were also the main force in the battle against humans in recent years. These people, whether they were recruits or veterans, were all targets that everyone had to kill. They killed until their hands were tired. The sound of killing gradually faded away. When she swung her sword and there was no one around, Chun Yunqi suddenly slumped to the ground. Her entire body was dyed red with blood. Not far away, Song Yingji was also panting heavily, resting on a pile of corpses. Many people were now slumped on the ground, motionless like the dead. Only their chests were moving up and down. 3 days. The battle had been going on for 3 days. These people had been killing and killing. Even when their vitality was depleted, they still relied on their physical strength to kill the enemy. They no longer had the time to think about how many people they had killed. In the center of the city, Qin Fengqing's legs were weak from all the killing, but he refused to let go of the last rank 6. He was only short of one head. This guy could not run away, and he could not let his head be smashed. The sound in the city was getting softer. North of Skygate City, a large number of people were fleeing. No one was in the mood to care. Exhaustion. To exhaustion. At this moment, everyone's spirits were lifted. Skygate City Lord and Skygate Tree have been executed. MCMAU's great victory. As soon as these words came out, even those who were slumped on the ground stood up instantly. Then, each of their faces flushed red. Suddenly, they shouted, MCMAU's great victory. MCMAU's great victory. Destroy the city. Destroy the city. Loud shouts rang out, shaking the royal city. Congratulations to MCMAU. Congratulations to MCMAU. The deafening cheers traveled further and further. Du Hong, who was in the air, did not say a word and went straight to Hope City. Great victory. MCMAU's great victory. 2 rank 9s, 2 rank 8s, and 9 rank 7s were killed. Skygate City was destroyed. Very soon, in the faraway direction of Hope City, countless people were cheering wildly. Wild cheers rang out in the entire catacombs. Fong Ping could not care less about other places. Fong Ping, who had landed from the sky, looked around and breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, after they left, MCMAU did not suffer too many losses, although many people were seriously injured. At this moment, Skygate City was filled with cheers. Fong Ping could not care about the others. Without another word, he went straight to the inner city. While old Zhang was still watching, he had to take away a batch of energy stones first. Fong Ping walked quickly. At this time, nothing was more important than snatching things. Although these things would eventually be used on the Sino Nation martial artists, Fong Ping felt that giving them to himself was the best choice. Underground. As soon as Fong Ping arrived, Huang Jing said immediately, "We've dug quite a lot." Fong Ping glanced at the energy stones piled up like a small hill beside him. Without another word, he kept them into the storage space. Huang Jing's face twitched. What a huge storage ring. Quick, keep digging. Fong Ping was very anxious now. He was going bankrupt. The more he dug, the better. This time, he wanted to be corrupt. He did not do this before, but this time, he must. He was going to be greedy, no matter how much he dug. Instructor Tang, hurry up and call the Vice-Chancellor and the others over. Tell them that if they want to repay their debts, they have to mine to repay their debts. Tang Feng's cheeks twitched. Mine to repay their debts? All right, he would talk to the Vice-Chancellor himself. Who knew if the Vice-Chancellor would vomit blood in anger? Tang Feng left the underground mineral vein very quickly. Not long after, Wu Quishan and the others arrived. As soon as they arrived, Fong Ping said immediately, "Mine, Vice-Chancellor, I've gone bankrupt this time. I've used up all my imperishable substances. I want 80% of the mines dug this time. The remaining 20% belongs to you, and we'll count it as debt repayment." Wu Quishan did not know whether to laugh or cry. He did not say much and began to help dig. When rank 9 powerhouses came to mine, their speed was also extremely fast. Very soon, huge pits were dug in the core area. Other than Lu Polu, who was still maintaining order in the city and intimidating everyone, the rest of the Grandmaster powerhouses were all mining at this time. Time was tight. Once old Zhang arrived, this matter could no longer be carried out. Not long after, a group of rank 5 and 6 martial artists entered the underground mineral vein one after another. The moment they saw the mineral vein, everyone was shocked beyond belief. Among everyone present, other than Fong Ping, only Li Hansong had seen the situation at the periphery of the mineral vein when he dug a hole with Fong Ping. Even old man Li had not seen it before. When he was in gigantic Willow City, he only revived after escaping to the underground pipeline. The others, including Wu Quishan, had never seen such a huge mine before. Just like that, with everyone's help, they dug for about an hour. Everyone felt a strong pressure approaching. Wu Quishan said immediately, "The minister is here. Everyone, go up." As Fong Ping said that, he put away all the energy stones that had been dug out and ran outside immediately. In the sky above Skygate City, Zhang Tao stood in the air, looking around. Soon, his cheeks twitched slightly. Underground. What were so many people doing underground? Also, the core mineral vein. How did it turn into honeycomb coal? Recalling what Tianmu had said that day, Zhang Tao suddenly did not know what to say. These people from MCMAU were really something. No wonder Fong Ping had asked when he would arrive. It was because of this. When Fong Ping and the others came out, before Zhang Tao could speak, Fong Ping roared, "Minister, MCMAU has won a great victory. Today, we have destroyed a royal city and killed 2 rank 9s. Yes, everyone from MCMAU has made outstanding contributions." Zhang Tao spoke loudly for a while, praising them. He was also quite emotional. At this moment, He did not care about how many energy stones Fong Ping and the others had dug out. It was beyond his expectations that the battle would turn out like this. Initially, he actually thought that MCMAU might not win. Even if they did win, it would be a Pyrrhic victory. Moreover, there were 2 rank 9s. MCMAU most likely could not kill them. He did not expect the final result to be so unexpected. All the high ranks in Skygate City were wiped out. Not just the high ranks. Zhang Tao looked around. At this moment, the huge Skygate City had become an empty city, except for the people from MCMAU. Almost all those who could escape had run away. Those who did not were killed. An intact royal city had been conquered by MCMAU. This was the first time in Sino Nation, including the entire human race. In the past, even if a city was conquered, there would not be such a result. Of course, this was also related to his bet with King Huai. If he had not made a bet with King Huai, this situation would not have happened. Next time, he might not have the chance. King Huai had suffered heavy losses by using subduing King's origin chi as bait twice in a row. Next time he was tempted, he would probably not bet with him again. After praising him for a while, Zhang Tao landed on the ground. He looked at Wu Quishan and nodded slightly. Then he looked at Fong Ping and smiled faintly. Congratulations. Fong Ping looked embarrassed. He laughed dryly. Why are you congratulating me? The Vice-Chancellor is still here. Zhang Tao chuckled. Of course I have to congratulate you. After this battle, everyone in MCMAU will respect you. Everyone will remember your kindness. If I don't congratulate you, who else should I congratulate? Fong Ping laughed dryly. These words were spoken as if he wanted to seize power. Was he that kind of person? Wu Quishan did not care too much this time. He glanced at Fong Ping, then turned his head to look at his wife. In the next moment, Wu Quishan's action was somewhat unexpected to Fong Ping. Wu Quishan was extremely serious. He said seriously, Magic City Martial Arts University Vice-Chancellor Wu Quishan, on behalf of MCMAU's instructors and students, and on behalf of MCMAU's heroic souls, thank Grandmaster Fong. As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Quishan bowed. Fong Ping hurriedly dodged. Just as he was about to speak, Wu Quishan said loudly again, Wu Quishan and Lu Fengru thank Grandmaster Fong for helping us take revenge. Having said that, he bowed again. Not only him, but Lu Fengru also had to bow. Fong Ping hurriedly dodged. Seeing that Wu Quishan still wanted to speak, he pulled a face and said bitterly, Vice-Chancellor, don't bow 3 times. What was old Wu doing? He was so formal that even he was blushing. How embarrassing. These people were his own instructors. Asking them to bow to him and even call him Grandmaster Fong was embarrassing. It was not over yet. In the city, the instructors and students looked at each other. Soon, someone shouted, Thank you, Vice-Chancellor Fong, for avenging MCMAU. Salute. Thousands of people saluted one after another. This time, Fong Ping could not avoid it. He quickly said, Everyone, don't do this. I'm just doing what I should. Beside him, Zhang Tao saw his awkwardness and chuckled. How do you feel? Fong Ping smiled bitterly. He did not know what to say. Zhang Tao said again, The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility, and the heavier the burden on your body. Kid, you've really put yourself in this situation. No one forced you to do this. As he said that, he smiled and said, Let's go to the City Lord's mansion. I'll be leaving this place soon. Before I leave, I need to take a clear inventory of the mineral veins. Otherwise, when I leave, there will only be the peripheral mineral veins left. Everyone laughed. Fong Ping's expression did not change this time. Was he that kind of person? He would definitely not dig out all the core mineral veins. He would leave some for him. Old Zhang actually did not trust him. Thinking was just thinking. Fang Ping did not say much and followed old Zhang to the city lord's mansion. At this moment, there was venerable Bug keeping watch here. He did not have to worry about any problems. He just did not know if King Huai had left. Was Zhao still alive? P.S. Damn, the update was late. Chapter 630. City Lord's Mansion. At this moment, the once majestic City Lord's mansion was now dilapidated. The ground was covered with broken limbs. Everyone looked indifferent. They did not care. The City Lord's mansion was taller than other buildings. From here, they could see the situation in the city. When Fang Ping and the others arrived, Qin Fengqing walked out from the side, holding a head. His legs were weak, his face pale. I killed this. Fang Ping, I killed 15 rank SIXs. Fang Ping glanced at him. After a while, he said, weren't there only 7 before? Qin Fengqing said hurriedly, when you weren't here, I killed a few more. This is the 15th. If you don't believe me, I'll go get the head. I hid it, Fang Ping chuckled. Hid it behind the throne? And hid something else? Qin Fengqing, hiding spoils of war is a serious crime. This is not an individual battle, but MCMU's entire school. Tell me, what should we do about this? Qin Fengqing looked pained. He said immediately, I didn't hide it. I collected it and waited to hand it over. Qin Fengqing's words were not wrong. Fang Ping sneered. He did not say anything else. If you were discovered, you should hand it over honestly. Qin Fengqing looked sorrowful. Mother asterisk cur. Why did these people come to the city lord's mansion? Everyone ignored him. Zhang Tao looked around, not in a hurry to say anything else. Instead, he glanced at Li Hansong, then at Wang Jinyang and the rest. After a while, he said, don't expose divine weapons. You kids, I don't know if I should call you old guys or something. Forget it. I'll just call you kids. You guys have exceeded my expectations. Don't reveal anything about you to others. Previously, Star City invited you. You can take some time to go. Of course, it might not be helpful to you. You guys are a little different from the martial artists who resurrected before. As he said that, Zhang Tao suddenly threw a punch at Li Hansong. Li Hansong's armor appeared instantly. The next moment, Li Hansong flew hundreds of meters backward. Immediately after, a gigantic hand descended. Just like how Buddha captured a monkey, it directly grabbed Li Hansong in its hand. After pinching for a while, the invisible hand dispersed. Li Hansong's armor retreated. His face was blank and gloomy. Why did you hit me out of nowhere? Mystic armor, Zhang Tao murmured. After a long time, he said, the mystic armor is intertwined with your life force. The ancient martial arts refining technique is more brilliant than I thought. Also, pay attention. Your divine weapons are very powerful, but they also have a huge flaw. Once the divine weapon is destroyed, you will be heavily injured. Using life force to refine weapons. Zhang Tao frowned slightly as he looked at Yao Qingjun and mumbled, no, you're using your mental strength to refine the weapon. After saying those words, he turned to Wang Jinyang and asked, you used your blood essence. It's not the same weapon refining method. Zhang Tao was truly surprised. He had assumed that they had used some sort of weaponsmithing technique to refine their weapons. Ancient martial arts practitioner. The ancient martial arts practitioner's method of refining weapons is interesting. Does it vary from person to person? It's not like the current unified refining method. Zhang Tao went on for a while. Fang Ping asked curiously, Minister, do you know our identities in our past lives? I know. Zhang Tao's words made them excited and surprised. Zhang Tao actually knew. Of course, that did not include Fang Ping. Fang Ping's heart trembled. No way. Before he could finish his thoughts, Zhang Tao said with a faint smile, "Aren't you the Celestial Emperor? Aren't Li Hansong and the rest generals under your command?" Fang Ping was dumbfounded. F***CK. Where did you overhear that from? You know this too. Fang Ping was dumbfounded. Li Hansong said excitedly, He's really the Celestial Emperor?" Zhang Tao gave him a look. Where did this idiot come from? Did he not hear that I was teasing him? Zhang Tao did not bother to pay him any attention. Li Hansong, on the other hand, was inexplicably excited. Wang Jinyang and the rest were speechless. You really understood what old Zhang meant. He was obviously teasing Fang Ping. What was he so excited about? They were all mentally exhausted. Old Zhang, too. He made a joke out of nowhere. Ironhead might have completely fallen for it now. Forget it. He had fallen for it long ago anyway. Fang Ping laughed dryly, cursing in his heart. Eavesdropping maniac. Old Zhang was really shameless, and he was really free. Fang Ping did not even know when he had eavesdropped. There was really no way to deal with this kind of person. Eavesdropping from the top, you could not even stop him. Zhang Tao did not continue this topic. He gave them a simple reminder. As for their divine weapons, they were nothing to Zhang Tao. They were comparable to rank 9 divine weapons. He was only curious about the weaponry refinement method of these divine weapons. After saying that, Zhang Tao asked, "How's the battle damage?" Beside him, Lu Polu said in a low voice, 6 rank, 6 instructors died in battle. 22 rank, 5 instructors died in battle. 97 rank, 4 instructors died in battle. Fang Ping frowned. 125 instructors died in battle. Although they had been prepared for the worst, they still didn't feel good seeing so many of them die. Lu Polu said again, "As for the students, 31 rank, 4 students died in battle. 69 rank, 3 students. 22 rank, 2 students. Rank 2 students died the least in battle because they were mostly responsible for logistics, rescuing the wounded, and the like. There were not many rank 2 students who actually participated in the battle. 125 instructors died in battle. 122 students died. 247 people died in battle in exchange for the destruction of a royal city. Was it worth it? No one would say it was not worth it, no matter who it was. However, the lives that were still alive a few days ago were now dead in a foreign land. It still felt bad. Lu Polu continued. 37 people died in the military department's instructors group. Fang Ping could not help but ask, why did so many of the instructors group die in battle? There were less than 100 people in the instructors group. Beside him, Luo Yichuan explained. General Du led the military department's people and charged at the front line. There were a few times when the brothers from the military department broke the deadlock and helped us kill the strong enemies. Fang Ping exhaled softly. Du Hong was not here at the moment. He had gone to Hope City and had not returned yet. Fang Ping did not say much when he heard that so many people from the military department died in battle. MCMAU and the military department had a total of 284 people who died in battle. When they set off, the team had more than 5,000 people. Skygate City was destroyed at the cost of less than 300 people. It was a miracle. However, more than half of these 300 people were middle-ranked. In order to cultivate these powerhouses, MCMAU and the military department had spent a lot of effort. To put it bluntly, even if humans destroyed a big city with millions of people dead or injured, it would not be as bad as losing so many powerhouses. Although Skygate City suffered countless casualties this time, with almost all the martial artists killed, the number of middle-ranked martial artists who died would not be more than 1,000. Zhang Tao pondered for a moment and said, "So many people died in battle. It's much less than I expected. However, These people are the elites of Sino Nation. They are the pillars of Sino Nation. Hundreds of people died in battle. Zhang Tao sighed softly and said again, collect the remains and transport them back to Earth. When this battle is completely over, the government will hold a memorial service. They are all the sons and daughters of Sino Nation's heroes. Fang Ping and the others did not say anything. This battle was requested by MCMAU. Before the war started, everyone knew that there would be casualties. Now that more than 200 people died in battle, everyone should be mentally prepared. If Fang Ping did not give away a large number of imperishable crystals, the number of middle-ranked and low-ranked martial artists who died in this battle would at least be 3 to 5 times more. It was normal for thousands of people to die. If the high-ranked battle did not end quickly, the casualties would be even worse. Without mentioning the battle damage, Zhang Tao continued, King Huai has admitted defeat. According to the agreement, Skygate City is the spoils of war. However, Skygate City is actually not King Huai's territory, but Green Wolf King's. However, Skygate City is too close to us. Even if it's destroyed, we won't give them a chance to rebuild the city. As for MCMAU, are you sure you want to keep Skygate City? If you want to take down Skygate City, you might be attacked by powerhouses from other cities. Wu Quishan thought for a while and said, even if the giant mine is dug out from Skygate City, the energy is still extremely rich, which is very helpful for martial artists' cultivation. It would be a pity if such a big, royal city was destroyed just like that. This place is very close to Hope City. The closest ones are Monster Phoenix City and Monster Sunflower City. However, Monster Sunflower City suffered heavy losses this time. I'm afraid they won't be able to continue fighting with us. As for Monster Phoenix City, Wu Quishan still wanted to protect Skygate City. Skygate City was a complete giant city, not smaller than Magic City. The buildings were complete, and the facilities were complete. Moreover, because there was an energy giant mine here, the energy was much richer than in Hope City. If this place was built into a base for MCMAU and a portion of the students were placed here to cultivate in the future, the speed would be extremely fast. There were so many martial artists in Skygate City. Many of them did not have many cultivation resources, but they could still reach middle ranks or even high ranks. This had a lot to do with this. MCMAU just won, and with the momentum of a great victory, Monster Phoenix City probably won't dare to send troops now. Zhang Tao said, moreover, when I just came, I went to Monster Phoenix City for a walk. The other party probably won't dare to make a move recently. However, if you really want to establish a foothold here, then it's hard to say. As for the government, they still have to guard the passageway. Even if someone comes to station here, they won't send too many people. This place is only suitable as a bridgehead, not a place to station. The passageway was not here, so naturally they could not station here. Otherwise, the government would not let go of a royal city. As for MCMAU, it's best to think carefully. There's no rush for now. Zhang Tao said for a while, then said, but the giant mine must be dug out immediately. We can only dig it out. We can't leave it behind. Once the giant mine is left behind, it's a road to death. The other cities, including the restricted areas, will not let go of this giant mine. Fang Ping also knew that humans were not suitable to leave behind giant mines. Although there was no way to regenerate it after digging it out, it was better to dig it out than to keep it and provoke the enemy. However, when he thought of the incomparably huge mineral vein below, Fang Ping still had a headache. He said, Minister, this mining work is not something we can do. Why don't you help to dig it out? Zhang Tao gave him a look and did not refuse. Instead, he nodded and said, all right, I'll do it later and let Hope City's military department come and take it. On your side. take the remaining mineral resources as soon as possible to avoid any accidents. It's not just the mineral resources. Skygate City is a royal city. There are countless good things. Take them away as soon as possible. Their armory and herb fields must be taken away as soon as possible. Leave behind an empty shell of the city. This way, the other parties won't have too much desire to attack. Everyone nodded. After discussing these matters for a while, Fang Ping quickly asked, "Minister, is Jiao still alive?" "I don't know." Zhang Tao was a little amused. "You've really screwed these few monsters over this time. The elephant beast was slow and was the first to be caught. King Huai was unable to restrain his anger and directly crushed it. The golden ant beast was also crushed before it could cross the boundary river. On the other hand, Jiao and the sheep beast crossed the boundary river, but the probability of survival is not high. King Huai attacked from a distance and directly crushed the golden bodies of two monsters. There are also many demons over there. Two monsters whose golden bodies were destroyed went in, and it was a dead end." Fang Ping said with a sigh, "What a pity! A pity that they couldn't be made into divine weapons." Zhang Tao said with a smile. Fang Ping shook his head and said, "That's not it. No matter what, they were the heroes of MCMAU's great victory in this battle. Although everyone had their own objectives, these few monsters did help a lot. Now, two are dead, and the other two are disabled. Sigh, my heart doesn't feel good." Zhang Tao and the others looked at him. "Are you sure? Are you sure you're grieving for them? Are you sure you're not regretting that you couldn't take their bodies?" Fang Ping coughed softly. "Don't look at me like that. If I really wanted to kill them, I wouldn't have given them the imperishable substance when I left. I still hope that these monsters are alive. If they're alive, based on what King Huai did this time and 100 Beasts Forest abandoning them, there's going to be a good show. Jiao most likely won't find trouble with me first. It'll probably kill the monsters in 100 Beasts Forest first. Let them mess around for a while." When he mentioned this, Zhang Tao remembered and chuckled. "You have a lot of imperishable substance." Fang Ping suddenly punched himself. He spat out a mouthful of blood, and his chest exploded. Everyone was surprised. "What were you doing?" Fang Ping waited for a moment, then looked at Zhang Tao and said, "I've used it up. Minister, help me recover it." Zhang Tao frowned slightly. After a while, he said, "I've said it. It doesn't matter if I know or not about some of your secrets. The premise is that you stand on the side of humans and not betray them. On the premise that you don't betray humans, you're all heroes of humanity. I, Zhang Tao, have come this far. I don't care about some small benefits and spoil my own conscience. Kid, it's right to be vigilant, but if I really want to deal with you, I can destroy you with a finger. You understand?" Fang Ping nodded and said, "Minister, I'm injured." Zhang Tao felt a little helpless. Did I say it for nothing? He ignored him. Zhang Tao was about to speak again, when Fang Ping suddenly asked curiously, "Minister, is the difference between rank 9 and Paragon really that big?" "Jiao's physique is comparable to rank 9, right? They crossed the Forbidden Sea tributary, and even had their golden bodies destroyed by King Huai's attack. Isn't that too powerful?" The strength of a paragon was beyond Fang Ping's imagination. The Forbidden Sea tributary was at least 1,000 meters wide. In fact, since Jiao and the others had crossed the river, they must not have run that far. Fang Ping asked again, "How far away did King Huai's golden bodies explode?" "Almost 10,000 meters. Fang Ping was dumbfounded. What a joke. From 20 li away, he destroyed a demon's body that was comparable to a rank 9 golden body with a punch in the air. Were you beating up a child? Was a paragon really that powerful? Zhang Tao saw his dumbfounded expression and laughed. The so-called paragon is the end of the path. Strictly speaking, In terms of the realm, it's the difference between rank 6 vitality unity and rank 6. But in terms of strength, the difference is even bigger. It needs to be replaced by early stage rank 6 and early stage rank 7. Can you understand if I put it this way? Fang Ping gulped. Wu Quishan could not help but ask softly, Minister, is the difference that big? Doesn't that mean that a paragon can kill a rank 9 easily? How many moves would a rank 7 grandmaster need to kill an early stage rank 6 martial artist? This question was difficult to answer. 1 move, or directly shocked to death by mentality. Rank 9s are also divided into strong and weak. It depends on how much they have comprehended the origin Tao. But the difference is huge. Then, can a rank 9 martial artist kill a paragon? A paragon is also a rank 9. You should ask if anyone below the paragon can kill a paragon. Zhang Tao chuckled. The possibility is not high. Even if Li Changsheng really cultivated his vitality to a peak, cultivating it to 100,000 calories or 200,000 calories, he can forget about killing a paragon. Let's put it this way. When that time comes, although his vitality is strong, a desperate state can suppress his outburst and disperse his strength. If you slash out 200,000 calories vitality, you can only hurt a paragon with a few tens of thousands cal, or even less. Can you kill a paragon? If I stand here and let him slash at me, he can forget about breaking my body easily. Old Zhang was very confident. With the small crack that Li Changsheng had created now, even if he stood still and did not move, he could at most leave a bloody mark on Li Changsheng's body. This was already the limit. Beside him, Old Man Li curled his lips and continued to be arrogant. Wait until I cultivate 1,000,000 cal vitality. Then you can be arrogant. Fang Ping, on the other hand, said thoughtfully, what if what teacher slashed out was not vitality force, but destructive force? As soon as he said that, Zhang Tao focused slightly and said, then it would be terrifyingly powerful. Vitality force is card, celestiality is luan, and destructive force is vitality. A luan is equivalent to a 500 calories vitality outburst. As for vitality force, Fang Ping kept looking at him. When he saw that he had stopped, he said, hurriedly, destructive force is vitality. Vitality is the beginning of all things. Isn't that an exaggeration? It's just a unit of measurement. You don't have to worry about this. Zhang Tao laughed. I thought you were ignorant and incompetent, and you would tell me that this is a unit of money. Fang Ping's face twitched. What did he mean? Old Zhang was too much. I'm ignorant and incompetent. I'm ignorant and incompetent. Can I get into MCMAU? Zhang Tao laughed and continued. Vitality force is equivalent to 10C celestiality. Moreover, you know about destructive force yourself. It's more destructive and has other uses. The advancement of a martial artist's realm is also an advancement of the level of strength. Nowadays, when martial artists reach the high ranks, most of them use celestiality. Actually, ancient martial artists don't seem to be like this. When real ancient martial artists reach rank 8, they should be using destructive force. Or, in other words, when that time comes, ancient martial artists don't really care about the types of strength. Instead, strength is the only thing. Whether it's cultivating the physique or mentality, in the end, strength is still the only thing. Destructive force might be the ultimate strength. The unit of destructive force is vitality, the source of strength, the beginning of strength, and the end of strength. Zhang Tao's words matched up with Fang Ping's earlier guess. As expected, Absolute Peak knew more than he did. Looking at Zhang Tao's expression, he was probably certain. If Li Changsheng really converted his strength into destructive force and grew endlessly, then he would be much stronger than he is now. Zhang Tao concluded, Fong Ping did not ask further. At this time, Zhang Tao said again, "Let's not talk about other things. I'm going to start mining now. Otherwise, once I leave, I'm afraid there will be some trouble." When everyone heard that he was going to mine, they all nodded. If this thing was not taken away, everyone would not be at ease. In the end, although Zhang Tao said that he was going to mine, he did not move. Just when everyone was puzzled, Zhang Tao suddenly roared. This roar caused the earth to tremble. In the direction of the inner city, at the entrance of the mine, there was originally a big pit. That was where the Sky Gate number took root. At this moment, following Zhang Tao's roar, a crystal-clear mineral vein that looked like a long dragon slowly soared into the sky. "Rise!" Zhang Tao roared again. In the next moment, the long crystal dragon flew slowly toward the direction of Hope City. If one did not look at the holes on the long crystal dragon, this scene was enough to be remembered for a lifetime. However, when they saw the large number of holes on the long crystal dragon, some of the MCMAU instructors and students in the city twitched their mouths. What an ugly crystal dragon! Some people did not know the situation and thought that the royal city's mine looked like this. For a moment, they were shocked by the number of high-ranked energy stones and despised the aesthetic standards of the catacombs' powerhouses. How did the mineral vein become like this after mining? Couldn't they just mine it properly? Fong Ping did not care about this. Watching the long dragon fly out, he could not help but say, "Minister, we still have 30%. "I know. We'll split it when we reach the ground. Send it to Hope City first." Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. Then he gulped and said, "Minister, you're amazing. Although it's only the core mineral vein, it's at least 100 tons. You can even control it with mentality. Amazing!" At this moment, Zhang Tao was lifting the core mineral vein, but it was at least 100 tons. To use mentality to control something that weighed 100 tons and send it to Hope City, which was 70 to 80 li away, this ability was really scary. Looking at Zhang Tao, it did not seem to be very difficult. As Zhang Tao flew forward, he said, "There are still 100 tons, but it's filled with a lot of energy crystals. There aren't many real high-ranked energy stones." Fong Ping naturally knew this. Mining mineral veins meant removing the energy crystals. Even so, there were still a lot of high-ranked energy stones. While flying, Fong Ping said, "There are 50 tons of high-ranked energy stones, right? More or less? MCMU gets 15 tons. Zhang Tao glanced at him. After a while, he nodded and said, "More or less." Behind him, Chen Yaoting and the others also flew over. When they heard this, they were a little stunned. They were starting to calculate the energy stones in tons. Only 30,000 caddies. Fong Ping sighed softly. The core mineral vein is too small, even if it's all rank 9 energy stones. Right now, martial arts universities only set the price of rank 9 energy stones at 600,000 per gram. One caddy is only 300 million. 30,000 caddies is 9 trillion. Moreover, not all of them are rank 9. There are many middle and low-ranked ones mixed in. There are even rank 7 and 8. If I calculate it like this, can it be 5 trillion? Zhang Tao suddenly did not want to speak. "What's with your tone?" When I saw this mineral vein, although I didn't show it, I was actually laughing in my heart. "What do you mean by that dissatisfied expression of yours? A huge mine. In my life, I've seen it, but I've never taken it. Do you know how many years of cultivation a huge mine like this can supply Sino Nation martial artists? Do you know how much the Sino Nation government has in reserve? You get 30,000 caddies. I get 70,000 caddies, 70,000 caddies. Star Town's 13 paragons. The city has been established for 300 years. This is probably the amount of energy stones harvested together. Just like that, it has provided for thousands of people in Star Town for 300 years. MCMU gets 30,000 caddies. This time, MCMU has conquered Skygate City. Otherwise, Zhang Tao would not have said that MCMU would get 30%. Even if he did not give this huge mine to MCMAU, no one would say anything. It was true that MCMAU conquered Skygate City, but conquering the city did not mean that the huge mine belonged to MCMAU. This huge mine was the bet between Zhang Tao and King Huai. Otherwise, how could the survival of two rank 9 martial artists be compared to his, Zhang Tao's, ultimate technique? Strictly speaking, this was his, Zhang Tao's. However, as the victor, he would only get to take the huge mine if MCMU won. Giving MCMU 30% was also what he had agreed on before. He thought that MCMU would be so happy, but now this Fang Ping kid was not satisfied. Zhang Tao suddenly wanted to smack him to death. Fang Ping continued, "Let's just decide on a value of 5 trillion. Of course, there are many low-ranked mines in the periphery, but those things, 1, are difficult to mine. 2, we can't really excavate them all. If we do, Skygate City will be ruined. You still want 70%. If we excavate some, we'll be at most able to dig up a mine worth 1 trillion. That way, it's only 6 trillion. There are some other gains in the city, a lot of them. Added up, it's only about 1 trillion. Let's just say it's 2 trillion. That way, after this battle and destroying a royal city, we'll only get a harvest of 8 trillion? 5,000 people. How much can one person get? On average, it's 6 billion per person." Zhang Tao was already stunned. Let me think about it. A battle of 5,000 people, 6 billion per person. This kind of war, if it was possible, he would be willing to launch a war of 100 million people. And now, a certain fellow was nagging behind him. What was he trying to say? What was he trying to say? Fang Ping did not want to say anything. He only calculated for a while and felt that Zhang Tao should give a little more to MCMAU. At the thought of this, Fang Ping said again, "Why don't you take a little less and give us 10 trillion? Get lost." Zhang Tao could not hold it in anymore. His mentality erupted, sending Fang Ping flying thousands of meters away. "Mother of Asterisker, this is too much. I didn't even settle the score with you when you stole the mine. You guys even killed the Skygate tree, and he didn't say anything. Now you want me to give you a little more. How much do you want? Why don't I just give it all to you? MCMAU only has so few instructors and students. If you want so many mines, don't tell me you want to plant mines under MCMU." While he was still thinking, Fang Ping, who had been sent flying, said loudly, "Minister, it's best if you leave us an intact section of the mineral vein. I want to see if the MCMAU mineral vein is okay." The entire city was so quiet that it could not be any quieter. Was he really going to plant mines? Let MCMU become like Royal City? At this moment, the eyes of the teachers and students were glowing. Then why would they need medicinal pills to assist their cultivation in the future? Did they not see that the martial artists in the catacombs did not use medicinal pills at all? Because they did not need it. Which martial artist living in Royal City needed medicinal pills to cultivate? Even if they were poor, they did not have to worry about martial arts not progressing. It was just a matter of speed. That was only for the martial artists in the outer city of Royal City. The martial artists in the inner city had extremely fast cultivation speeds. Was this not equivalent to cultivating in the energy room every day in the future? In front, Zhang Tao did not say a word. This kid was too extravagant. Was he going to make MCMAU the second sacred place in Star Town? There were only a few thousand people in Star Town, but there were 50 to 60 grandmasters alive now. Moreover, a portion of them did not have high cultivation qualifications. All of this had to do with their rich resources. MCMAU was not a family clan. This was a school that had accumulated the most outstanding batch of people out of more than 1 billion people. With the same amount of resources, MCMAU might be able to produce hundreds of grandmasters. Of course, it would take time to accumulate. Zhang Tao began to calculate whether to give it to MCMAU. If it was too much, how would the other martial arts universities survive in the future? No, it would be hard to survive in the education ministry. Should I say halfway that it was robbed by Li Jun? Zhang Tao calculated in his heart. Should he do it? As for MCMAU's revenge on Li Jun in the future, it would be better to leave the pinnacle first. Even if they left, they might not be Li Jun's match. Li Jun would probably be very willing to be the scapegoat. I underestimated the reserves of Sky Gate City's giant mine. I thought it would be used up after all these years. Zhang Tao felt helpless. If he had known, he would have said 10%. Zhang Tao ignored Fang Ping and steered the crystal dragon toward Hope City. Fang Ping did not follow, but he sent Tang Feng and Huang Jing to keep an eye on them and not let them embezzle. As for himself, he stayed behind to clean up the battlefield. He had to get all the spoils as soon as possible. Chapter 6:31. Inside the city, everyone began to clean up the battlefield. Fang Ping, on the other hand, received the list of casualties. When he saw the names, both familiar and unfamiliar, flashing by, Fang Ping suddenly lost his excitement. In the distance, Zhang Yu leaned against the wall, spacing out. Further away, Xie Lei was hugging his knees like an abandoned puppy curled up in a corner. Zhang Ziwei had died in battle. Fang Ping only knew that Zhang Ziwei had died in battle. Xie Lei and Zhang Ziwei were a couple that everyone in MCMAU envied. Same year, same class, same instructor. One was a thrice-honed, the other a twice-honed. One was a middle stage rank, 5, the other a middle stage rank, 4. Fang Ping remembered Zhang Ziwei very clearly. When the special training classes first started, he had challenged Zhang Ziwei and injured her. He also remembered that she had been injured in the chest. That girl had been so angry and annoyed at that time. Fang Ping suspected that Xie Lei wanted to snatch the position of president from him because he had injured his girlfriend. Of course, Xie Lei did not challenge him when his rank was low. Other than Fang Ping, he was the only thrice-honed martial artist in MCMAU. He had his own pride, and he did not want to bully the weak. Now, his girlfriend had died in battle. This couple, that everyone envied, had gone their separate ways. Jin Lei, Guosheng, the familiar names made Fang Ping lose a lot of interest. Less than 300 casualties, a great victory. A great victory. But this was more than 200 lives. The joy of victory might excite those who had nothing to do with it, but how could those who had lost their loved ones and friends be excited? Chun Yunshi walked over from the side. Seeing that he was looking at the casualty list, she said softly, "People die in war." Fang Ping looked at her and said suddenly, "What if we lose this time? You all worship me, admire me, thank me. Do you know that I'm actually gambling with the lives of everyone in the school? Gambling on victory. Gambling that we can win. If Jiao doesn't join the battle, the result might be reversed. Right now, we're the ones who lose. That's how war is." Chun Yunshi did not agree with him this time. She said seriously, "Humans are weak. In every war, as long as there's a chance of winning, no matter how small, it's worth the gamble. Don't we know? We know. Don't the teachers know? They know. He even knew about Minister Zhang. There is no sure win war. We are the weak. Even if we are the strong, there is still the possibility of failure. Everyone knew this, but everyone did it without hesitation. Humans were inferior to the catacombs. If a full-scale war were to break out, humans might perish. Did the minister and the others know that? But they had no second thoughts. They were also gambling with the fate of mankind. But what else could they do? Sit and wait for death. Fong Ping, we only need results. If the results are good, that's enough. If you don't do it, who knows if you can win this war? You've already done very well, so well that it's beyond our imagination. You've done so well that even Department Head Zhang and the others feel that you're very powerful. The deaths of the students and teachers aren't your fault. At this time, you can grieve, but you can't give up. You can't be afraid just because someone died and feel that you shouldn't do it. Fong Ping looked at her deeply for a while. After a while, he suddenly laughed. I didn't realize that you were so talkative. Chun Yunqi suddenly blushed. After a while, she stammered. It's the vice-chancellor and the others. They said that you might have some thoughts now, so they taught me to say it like that. Fong Ping could not help but laugh. He said helplessly, Vice-chancellor, forget it. Let's not talk about him. Having said that, Fong Ping looked at Xiele in the distance and said softly, Zhang Ziwei died in battle. He's probably very upset. Yunqi, tell me. Chen Yunqi shook her head, abruptly. You'll be fine. If one day I also die in battle in the catacombs, Yunqi, listen to me. Chun Yunqi looked at him and smiled brightly. Martial artists don't shy away from death. No one knows if that day will come. If I really die in the catacombs, don't cry for me, don't grieve for me, because in my impression, Fong Ping has always been the strongest man. He won't give up his dreams and hope just because his family is average. He's like grass, struggling and growing in the mud. If he feels that he can grow into a towering tree, then he will grow into a towering tree. For the sake of cultivation, he can smile cheekily and peddle his pills. For the sake of the teachers, he can humble himself and please others. For the sake of everyone, he can give everything he has. He won't cry when he's injured, no matter how serious his injuries are. He will always smile. A man like this shouldn't cry or grieve because of a woman. This is the Fong Ping I like, not the Fong Ping who's depressed because of a woman. If I really die in the catacombs, just remember to avenge me. Kill more enemies. Kill them until they're terrified. Kill them until they don't dare to invade the human world anymore. Then you'll be my great hero, a great hero that no one can surpass. This Fong Ping is the Fong Ping that I, Chun Yunqi, should love. Fong Ping looked at her for a while. After a long time, he smiled. I won't die. I won't. The catacombs will be conquered sooner or later. In the future, I won't have to live in such a precarious situation anymore. You put me so well that I'm embarrassed to refute you. All right, you don't have to comfort me. I'm not that weak yet. Death isn't scary. What's scary is that death is worthless. So don't die easily. I'm the leader, the Celestial Emperor. A little setback won't make me doubt myself. Chun Yunqi seemed relieved. She smiled quickly and said, Then I'll go clean up the battlefield. Go ahead. After Chun Yunqi left, a few silhouettes appeared. Fong Ping chuckled. Instructors, am I that weak? Maybe a little sad, but not to the point of self-denial. Wu Quishan looked at him for a while and sighed softly. This is the first time you've experienced this. I've seen many dead people. Fong Ping said calmly, destroying Sky Gate City, avenging the blood feud, reaping great rewards. Only by cultivating more powerhouses will fewer people die. I understand this principle. To put it more realistically, the people who died today were not my relatives, not my girlfriend. So I think it's acceptable for people to die. If there's such a day, and my relatives die in the catacombs, Please wake me up, Vice Chancellor, so that I can pull myself together and take revenge. I won't be dispirited. Yunshi is right. I'm just a blade of grass in the mud. I'll only become stronger and stronger, not more useless. In the crowd, Chen Yaoding smiled faintly. My granddaughter has said what she needs to say. Don't you have anything to say? Fang Ping glanced at old Chen and smiled. Yes, I have. I've thought about it. When I'm at the top, I'll marry her. What do you think? Chen Yaoding cursed under his breath. Are you kidding me? When can you, kid, become a top? Everyone could not help but laugh, sweeping away the sadness from just now. After a war, it was inevitable to feel sad when they saw their comrades die in battle. However, as powerhouses, the weak could be sad, but they could not. At least, they could not show it in front of others. Today, Fang Ping was not only the student leader, but also one of MCMAU's pillars. Everyone believed in him. They believed that he could lead MCMAU to a better place. If they did not believe in him, would Zhang Tao let him start a war like this? He would use the Origin's unique art as a gamble. Wu Quishan and the others also believed in him. Even though he was young, he would bring them miracles. Now, a miracle had happened. Therefore, nothing could happen to Fang Ping. If anything happened to him, the confidence built up in this war would collapse instantly. Looking at everyone's expression, Fang Ping suddenly revealed a narcissistic expression, a little intoxicated. I didn't know that I'm already so important that the school doesn't have a vice chancellor. It's not a problem at all. Wu Quishan did not know whether to laugh or cry. Lu Fengru, on the other hand, was all smiles. You're more important than him. There was no other reason. Fang Ping killed the Sky Gate City Lord. Lu Fengru felt that no matter how strong Wu Quishan was, he was still useless. At the end of the day, the one who avenged her was still Fang Ping. Wu Quishan was really helpless. What was this? Was he despised? He was now stronger than before. He had walked a distance on the Origin's path. In rank 9, the division below the top was very vague. The division was actually based on how far one walked on the Origin's path. The further one walked, the stronger one would be. It was not called a middle or upper stage. It was just a simple division. If he walked far on the Origin's path, it meant that his combat strength might surpass many of the older rank 9, even if he did not have a divine weapon. He was such a powerful figure, yet he was despised. There was no justice in this world. After a few jokes, Fang Ping coughed softly. Just as he was about to speak, Wu Quishan suddenly laughed. No matter what, the annihilation of Sky Gate City was also completed during my tenure. Fang Ping, you have to work hard. During my tenure, I've made such a great contribution, annihilating a royal city. If you, Fang Ping, really become the vice chancellor, what kind of contribution do you have to make? Annihilate a catacomb, or annihilate the restricted area? Fang Ping's expression stiffened. Old Wu stole the credit. However, there was no way to reason with him. After all, Old Wu was the vice chancellor. In order not to let Old Wu celebrate too early, Fang Ping chuckled. Vice Chancellor, it's time to settle the score. This time, let's count it as 8 trillion. I want a dividend. According to the contribution ratio, I want 20%, 6 trillion, Fang Ping said, and then added, so, that mineral vein, 1/3 of it is mine. The few grandmasters looked confused. What did he want to do? I'm planning to build a big house made of energy crystals on this 1/3 of the mineral vein. In the future, I'll eat, drink, defecate, and sleep there. Fang Ping, Old Manly wanted to say something but stopped. What are you doing? MCMU didn't say that you can't cultivate. Why do you have to calculate it so clearly? Fong Ping said with a serious expression. Public is public, private is private. You have to distinguish between public and private. After all, MCMAU doesn't belong to anyone. Right now, the vice-chancellor is the vice-chancellor. What if the vice-chancellor becomes the vice-chancellor? What if Minister Zhang arranges for someone else to be the vice-chancellor? When it's time to settle the score, we still have to do it. Vice-chancellor, don't you think so? Wu Quishan pondered for a moment, nodded, and said, yes. After saying that, he said, I'll explain the situation to Minister Zhang. In this battle, you have the most credit. 20% is not much. When Fong Ping heard that, he smiled immediately. That's fine. Of course, I'll still bury the mineral vein under MCMAU, but it still has to be cut open. Without my permission, I won't let anyone enter my mineral vein to cultivate. Everyone could not help but laugh. They did not want to say anything. Fong Ping said again, as for the mine that was dug out earlier, we agreed to split it 80-20. I'll take 80%. The remaining 20% is gone. Everyone was stunned. Why was it gone? Jiao's appearance fee. I had no choice. I spent too much imperishable substance on Jiao's side. Now that we don't know if Jiao is dead or alive, as a middleman, I have to help it save it. It also has to pay me back, so it's canceled out. Beside him, old man Li did not know whether to laugh or cry. How much did you dig out earlier? Not much. Just about 2 tons. How much is that? All the rank 9 energy stones are only 1,200 billion. Not to mention, half the price is 600 billion. 20% is only 120 billion. It's not much. Everyone stopped talking. Fong Ping continued, as for the Tianmen tree's carcass, Instructor Li, your share will be considered interest. Old man Li's face was blank. Interest? He did not even pay back the capital. Fong Ping said very seriously, it can only be considered interest. The debt is still owed. He had no choice. Most of the money that old man Li owed had actually been calculated for his wealth. The things that had been calculated for wealth, even if they were returned to him now, it would not be considered a net increase. But the interest, that would be his extra gain. Seeing that Wu Quishan was about to speak, Fong Ping chuckled and said, Vice-Chancellor, you've also contributed previously. Your share can be considered as vitality recovery pills, golden body pills, and other things plus interest. You still have to continue to owe me the 100 billion you owe me. Wu Quishan was mentally exhausted. He did not want to speak. If I calculate it this way, I'll get 6 billion of the ores. The 600 billion ores on my side are all mine. Also, the Tianmen tree's carcass and life essence are all mine. If I calculate it this way, it's not much. It's only about 5 trillion. Fong Ping rubbed his chin and calculated for a while. He had only earned double. As for the imperishable crystals and the rest, he did not care. Those were all converted from wealth. Even if they were converted into money and given to him now, his wealth would not increase. After destroying a royal city, he had actually gotten so little. There were so many people here. After splitting the spoils, he would indeed get less. If he had destroyed the royal city alone, it would all be his. That would be making a fortune. What a pity! However, 20% of all the spoils was already his limit. If he asked for more, that would make others think that he was too greedy. He was not that kind of person. Moreover, Zhang Tao might not agree to it. Fong Ping sighed. His wealth had only doubled. It was not much, but that was not right. Fong Ping suddenly remembered. He had even gotten more than 200 billion worth of resources. If he calculated it this way, That would be 3 to 4 trillion. Fong Ping licked his lips. If he calculated it this way, then he had earned quite a lot. As for Old Man Li and the rest, they looked dazed. Fong Ping did not care about them. You don't have to care about what I'm doing. The things are mine anyway. I have to calculate it clearly. If MCMAU really became his, Fong Ping's, private property, then he would not care about this. However, since it was not, of course, he had to calculate it clearly. Although Fong Ping said that the splitting of the spoils was over, the system did not increase his wealth. Fong Ping knew that it was probably because the calculation had not been completed. When the calculation was completed, there should be no problem. He took a look at his own data. Wealth, 6, 1 million points vitality, 17,000 calories, 17,009 calories mentality, 2,000 hertz, 2,145 hertz destructive force. Bone honing, 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90%, storage space, 100 cubic meters plus, energy shield, 1 point/minute, plus aura simulation, 10 points/minute, plus there's not much wealth left. I have to calculate it as soon as possible. After muttering in his heart, Fong Ping said, Instructor, if we don't give up Sky Gate City, then we need a powerhouse to guard it. Wu Quishan saw that he was looking at him and said with a speechless expression, What do you mean? Vice Chancellor, the capable do more work. It's the same, no matter where you cultivate. Isn't it better here? You're MCMAU's pillar now. If you're here, then we can intimidate everyone. What's the point of starting a war with a powerhouse like you for an empty city? The catacombs martial artists are very practical. It's impossible for them to start a war with you for something that doesn't benefit them. That's why this place can become our base, because you're here. Even Instructor Li can't do it. His vitality is depleting very quickly. The others aren't afraid of him. Moreover, you can guard this place alone. The school's grandmasters don't have to come. Wu Quishan was mentally exhausted. You want to exile me? You want to exile the principal who's in charge? You're really black-hearted, kid. He looked around. His wife looked indifferent. Old Man Li looked approving, and even Lu Polu was nodding nonstop, thinking that this was a good idea. Sigh. Wu Quishan let out a long sigh. I haven't even said anything, and I'm already exiled. As for Old Huang and Tang Feng, there was no need to ask. They probably had no objections. I'll guard this place. Then the school. Fong Ping smiled. You're often in closed-door cultivation in the school, so you don't have to worry about it. Vice Chancellor, I'll ask the instructor to visit you when she's free. Lu Fengru glared at him. What did this kid mean by that? Wu Quishan did not know whether to laugh or cry. Mother asterisk cur, do I need your permission to visit me? That's not right. Am I just going to guard this place silently? Fong Ping did not give old Wu a chance to make things difficult for him. Very quickly, he walked down the mansion and headed into the city. Along the way, greetings of Vice Chancellor Fong rang out incessantly. Of course, most of them were students. The instructors usually did not greet them. Even so, over at the mansion, Wu Quishan was still shaking his head. Vice Chancellor Fong? What kind of Vice Chancellor Fong was this? He was just a trainee, but he was more authentic than him. The real deal. There was no justice in this world. Sigh, this kid really seized power. A rank 7 seized power from a rank 9. Am I considered the most cowardly rank 9? Beside him, Chen Yaoding said disdainfully, You're still pretending to be innocent after taking advantage of the situation. If you're not willing, let this kid go to SCMAU. I'll make him the Vice Chancellor immediately, Wu Quishan said reservedly. Old Chen must be joking. After all, Fong Ping is from MCMAU. He's still young. MCMAU still has many high ranks to look after. SCMU probably won't be able to hold on. Why don't you take a look at SCMAU's conditions? You're just a rank 8. Can you hold on? This kid's ability to get into trouble is something that even MCMAU can't handle. Yet, you still want him to go to SCMAU? This old man is really stubborn. Chun Yaoting was speechless. After thinking about it, it made sense. Other things aside, could SCMU even start a war like this? P.S. Powerless update. Sorry. Chapter 632. Congratulations! MCMAU has annihilated Skygate City, raised the prestige of Sino Nation, raised the prestige of MCMAU, while Fong Ping and the others were still sorting through the spoils of war. An earth-shattering laughter came from afar. Tianmu had arrived. Tianmu had just finished speaking when someone laughed loudly from the west. Killing the enemy. Teacher's death has finally been avenged. My only regret is that I couldn't kill the enemy personally to avenge my teacher's death. Wu Chuan had arrived. As soon as these two people arrived, the MCMU crowd below them cheered loudly. This battle was MCMAU's battle. It was from the beginning to the end. Tianmu sealed off Monster Sunflower City. Wu Chuan sealed off Monster Phoenix City. Both of them were from MCMAU. Moreover, among these two people, one was the Guardian of the South, the highest leader in the southern region. The other was the General of the Military Department, and would soon become the Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Military Department. Perhaps he would also lead the Southern Military Department's war situation. In this way, the highest leaders in the entire southern region were all from MCMAU. Moreover, both of them were rank 9. Wu Quishan was also a rank 9. Old Manly was not a rank 9, but he was better than a rank 9. With so many powerhouses appearing in one school, it was also the beginning of the golden age of MCMAU. In midair, Fong Ping and the others had arrived. As soon as Tianmu arrived, he laughed loudly. Changsheng, you kid, not bad. You actually cut down the Skygate tree. Amazing. On the other side, as soon as Wu Chuan arrived, he also laughed. Fong Ping did well this time. I heard that you killed a rank 8. Very strong. Vice-Chancellor Chun is also tired. He restrained 2 rank 8s and killed one. Vice-Chancellor Liu and the rest have also worked hard. They restrained the rank 8s. Both of them were beaming with joy, praising them profusely. Wu Quishan waited for a long time. His expression was so stiff that he looked like a zombie. So, I'm the only one who didn't contribute. At least I self-destructed my divine weapon and severely damaged the Skygate tree. At least I injured the Lord of Skygate City and made him retreat to the Forbidden Sea, right? Why doesn't anyone mention me? This is too sad. Wu Quishan's heart was desolate. Fine, I'll stay in Skygate City then. Every time, his heart would bleed, but he couldn't say anything. Fong Ping, a rank 7, had killed a rank 8. Li Chongxing, a rank 8, had killed a rank 9. Chun Yaoting, the external aide, had also killed a rank 8. Yao Qingjun, Li Hansong, and the rest had killed a few rank 7s. Lu Polu and the other rank 7s were restraining a rank 8. This was considered a cross-rank battle. He was the only one who seemed to have nothing to say. Could it be that he was very powerful after snatching back the Skygate City Lord's thigh bone? Tianmu laughed for a while and said, Minister Zhang is now guarding Hope City. Elder Fan and the others are transporting the mineral veins back to Earth. I've arranged for a team of 1,000 people to mine the mine. This matter should be settled as soon as possible, in case someone covets it after the minister leaves. Zhang Tao wouldn't be able to stay here for long and would be leaving soon. Once he left, Magic City's catacombs might not be as quiet as it was now. Everyone nodded. Soon, the military martial artists from Hope City arrived. As soon as these people arrived, they began to cooperate with the MCMAU martial artists to mine the underground, low-grade mineral veins. After chatting for a while, Wu Chuan looked at Wu Quishan and nodded slightly. It seems like it won't be long before Quishan catches up to Northern Spear King. Northern Spear King Wang Yu ranked 10th on the rank 9 Grandmaster ranking. When Fang Ping heard this, he was a little surprised. It can't be. The Vice-Chancellor just broke through rank 9 not long ago. Although Wu Quishan had made progress in the origin path previously, it shouldn't be possible for him to catch up to the top 10 Grandmasters in an instant, right? Wu Chuan laughed. His progress in the origin path might not be as good, but with a rank 9 divine weapon, he should be comparable to Wang Yu. However, he needs some time to accumulate. Wu Quishan said helplessly, "The divine weapon has self-destructed. What are you afraid of? Isn't Fang Ping here?" Wu Quishan was speechless. What should I say? Fang Ping also looked up at the sky. Old Wu trusted him so much. Speaking of which, are you asking me to lend out the Sky Gate tree's heart and brain nuclei? As for Tai Tu's black greatsword, that belonged to Tai Tu, although this fellow did not use it now, the divine weapon he obtained this time was the divine armor. Other than the divine armor, he did not have any other divine weapons. This greatsword, Fang Ping really could not give it away so easily. Fang Ping did not talk about this. He would talk about it later. Right now, Fang Ping was not very interested in Wu Quishan's progress. Instead, he said with a face full of curiosity, among the top 10 Grandmasters in Sino Nation, other than the 2 Godly Guardian, I have never seen the 8th-ranked High Grandmaster Kong. High Grandmaster Kong is really low-key. Right now, Wu Chuan was ranked 7th, Zhao Xingwu was ranked 9th, and Wang Yu was ranked 10th, including the 11th-ranked Li Daong, the 17th-ranked Dragon King Lin Long. Fang Ping had seen all of these people before. Not to mention Jueshing. He had always been guarding Mount Yuhai. It was normal that the 2 guardians, Chun and Shun, had not seen him. However, Fang Ping had not seen the 8th-ranked High Grandmaster even once. The others did not talk about him much either. When Fang Ping mentioned this, beside him, Wu Chuan laughed and said, Kong Lingyuan has been in closed-door cultivation all these years. During the Donglin Catacombs battle, Kong Lingyuan was seriously injured. Even his origin path was severely damaged. That is why he has spent most of these years recuperating. Fang Ping had heard of the Donglin Catacombs battle. In 1996, the Donglin Catacombs riot. It was also that year that Donglin's Chen family's old grandmaster brought his entire family into the catacombs. All of them died in the catacombs. The only survivor was the young Chen Jiaxing. Fang Ping had met him a few times during the first Martial Arts University Championship. Later, he also went to Donglin Martial Arts University to meet him. I see. Fang Ping responded. Then he suddenly asked, Senior Wu, what's your title? He really did not know. The leaders of the 3 ministries and 4 prefectures did not have titles on the ranking. Only their positions were listed. Martial King, Netherworld King, and so on. Wu Chuan was the Snake King. Tianmu was the Fist King. As for what Wu Chuan was, Fang Ping had never thought about it. Now his interest was piqued. When Wu Chuan heard this, he raised his eyebrows slightly and said, Titles and whatnot are all decided by outsiders. It has no effect on combat strength. Why do you care about these? Fang Ping looked at him suspiciously. Don't tell me you don't have a title? Beside him, Old Man Li yawned and said, Emerald Light Sword. None of teacher's students who use swords are called kings. Jade light swordsman Wu Chuan, longevity swordsman Li Changsheng, wooden swordsman Huang Jing. Cough, cough, cough. Fong Ping coughed violently to hide his urge to laugh. Compelling light swordsman? A wooden swordsman? Damn, no wonder Wu Chuan never mentioned this. What kind of title was that? Wasn't it embarrassing enough? And Huang Jing, how did he get such a nickname? Was it for real? Wu Chuan looked at old man Li with an unfriendly expression. He said mildly, "Longevity swordsman is a title that someone named himself. I remember when he first made a name for himself, he was called One Sword Hero." Tianmu replied, lazily. Then, with a casual expression, he said, "Dominating with the first strike, but dispirited with the second. Actually, this title can be used even now. It's still the same." Ha ha! Fong Ping could not hold it in any longer. Old man Li's swordsman longevity was his own doing. How shameless! Old man Li let out a humph. One sword was enough. Why did he need so many swords? After laughing for a while, he saw that old man Li and the others had unfriendly expressions. Fong Ping coughed dryly and immediately changed the topic. "Senior Wu, your title is too lousy. How can it match your identity? The Martial Arts Association is not a good thing. They keep using these titles to disgust people. When we return to Earth, Senior Wu, let's go find trouble with them." Of course, the title has to be domineering. What are they doing now? Fong Ping had wanted to find trouble with the two presidents of the Martial Arts Association for a long time. This time, when he returned to Earth with the momentum of a great victory, he had to rearrange the ranking and change his title. He had been thinking about this for a long time. What did he change last time? This time, he would give the two presidents one last chance. He would also go and collect the debt from President Liu. Do you think you're mingling in the underworld? Do you have to come up with a nice-sounding name? Wu Chuan could not be bothered with him. There was a reason for the title. When he was young, he wielded the emerald light sword. When he slashed with the sword, emerald light shone brilliantly. This was also one of his characteristics. Of course, that was in the past. However, he used a sword. There were too many powerhouses who used swords, including his own teacher, the King of Swords. He would not use it. Not continuing to talk about this, Wu Chuan said again, "You better be careful, kid. I saw your arrest warrant at Monster Phoenix City previously. It was issued by the Monster Royal Court. Even I want to kill you for the bounty after reading it. 1 rank, 8 divine weapon, 10,000 rank, 9 energy stones, which is about 1,000 caddies, plus a set of rank 9 powerhouses combat techniques. Kid, with this price, the arrest warrant might have spread all over the outer realm. If you encounter people from the Monster Life clan in the future, be careful. Not only that, if people from the outer realm kill you, they can also get 3 restricted area passes. The outer realm has a limited quota every year to go to the restricted area. Many people covet the 3 restricted area passes." Fong Ping cursed under his breath when he heard that. He said viciously, "It must be that Ji Yao who did it. Don't let me see her next time. If I do, I'll beat her into minced meat." "Beat her into minced meat?" Wu Chuan said exasperatedly. "Where there are people, run if you see her. Stop talking nonsense. If you kill her, you'll be in big trouble. Her grandfather is a life king. His combat strength is not weaker than Commander Li and the others. Her father is the lord of the royal court. I heard that he has been in closed-door cultivation recently and has a chance of achieving true king realm. 1 family with 2 true kings. Moreover, they are father and son. They lead a big royal court. Your death won't have as big an impact as her death. Besides, I heard from the people who came back from the restricted area that Ji Yao broke through to rank 7 and signed an agreement with the descendant of the royal court guardian Phoenix King. That Phoenix monster is similar to you. Rank 7 has also forged golden bones. If you really meet her, you might not be able to deal with her. Fong Ping said indifferently, I can even kill a rank 8. Why would I be afraid of her? Let's not talk about family background. I'll kill her with 1 slash. Oh, right, the Lord of the Monster Life Royal Court breaking through to Paragon. Will it affect us? It definitely will. Wu Chuan's expression was slightly solemn. He said, the current Lord of the Monster Life Royal Court is ambitious. Previously, a true king monster from the Guardian bloodline appeared in the capital city catacombs. Whether it was the royal court's monster that acted on its own or the Monster Life Royal Court ordered it, no one knew. The catacombs passageways are about to be fully opened. These people are all eager to make a move. Now, they are all waiting for an opportunity, waiting for the passageways to be fully opened. Therefore, in these 1 or 2 years, even if we provoke them a little, they won't really start a war. Because it's not a good time for them to start a war now. However, when the passageways are fully opened, that will be the opportunity. Fong Ping also knew what it meant for all the passageways to be fully opened. It meant that every passageway could be passed through and allowed a large number of desperate situations to enter. Now, the true kings of the catacombs did not have a unanimous opinion. It had something to do with the passageways not being fully opened. If they were not fully opened, individual true kings might not be willing to enter Earth. Fong Ping hesitated for a moment, but still asked, the Monster Plant clan wants the seed of rebirth. Senior Wu, what exactly is the seed of rebirth? I don't know. Wu Chuan's answer was straightforward. Beside him, Tian Mu saw that Fong Ping was a little puzzled. He thought for a while and still said, I really don't know, but I have some guesses. Tian Mu hesitated for a moment before saying, there are absolute powerhouses who have guessed that the seed of rebirth that the catacombs want might be a kind of life core. It might be the planet's life core, or it might be the life core of all living things. No matter which one it is, absolute powerhouses have determined that the seed of rebirth probably doesn't exist, or rather, it doesn't exist now. After massacring the humans on Earth and letting the vitality of the humans on Earth return to the planet, when all living things die out, there might be a chance that the so-called seed of rebirth will be born. This kind of speculation is not baseless. There are powerhouses who have found some clues in ancient books. The humans born on Earth cultivated martial arts, seized the origin, cultivated all kinds of martial arts origin paths, and plundered the Earth's origin. If they kill a large number of humans and powerhouses, they might be able to condense a new origin path, a new path that leads to the pinnacle. Wu Chuan, on the other hand, continued, this is just an individual's speculation. It's not something that can be confirmed. The catacombs should know more than us, but they won't tell us. Since they didn't force us to hand over the seed of rebirth, it means that the speculation might be true. If the seed of rebirth exists on Earth now, faced with a crisis and a situation like this, humans might very well compromise and hand over the seed of rebirth to avoid a war of annihilation. However, the catacombs powerhouses did not ask us to hand it over. Instead, they blindly opened the passageway and invaded Earth. In that case, the possibility of this theory being true will increase greatly. In the past, no one would have told Fong Ping about these things. But now, with his strength and status, as long as he asked a few questions, they wouldn't hide anything and told him everything. As Wu Chuan spoke, he continued, actually, there are other speculations, including this so-called seed of rebirth. It's possible that it was originally something from the catacombs. Our ancient martial art practitioners might have stolen something from them and cut off their path to the pinnacle. It was possible that the catacombs' powerhouses wanted to retrieve such an item and walk the path to the top again. You have to know that there are many peak-level powerhouses in the catacombs. The Monster Plant's royal court has a true king hall. The true kings in the True King Hall are known to the public as 49 true kings. Maybe there are even more. As for the 4 majestic halls, the number of true kings guarding the majestic halls was slightly less, but the rest were about the same. There were so many paragons, but none of them had taken a new path. The catacombs' martial arts legacy had never been broken, so why not? Was there really no other way to go on the summit? It was rumored that during the Demon Emperor calendar, the Demon Emperor was at the peak. How did the Demon Emperor die? Of old age? Or something else? Or maybe the Demon Emperor took away some important things related to the peak. Maybe such things are in the human world. The other party was not willing to say it, maybe to prevent the humans' paragons from obtaining it. All these years, the humans' paragons have been searching for it, but to no avail. Therefore, other than the name Seed of Rebirth, we really don't know anything. Seed of Rebirth. From the name, maybe it's a kind of martial arts revival seed. Wu Chuan shook his head as he spoke. He was really not sure about these things. If he knew, the humans would have gotten the Seed of Rebirth long ago. Fong Ping felt slightly regretful when he heard that. He said, "If we don't know what the enemy wants, then it's not easy to make some targeted arrangements. No wonder we can only hold on until now." They did not know what the catacombs' powerhouses wanted at all. The other party looked like they wanted to enter Earth and kill humans. How could they negotiate? Forget about negotiating. Even some arrangements were difficult. If the Seed of Rebirth was an object, they might as well let the human powerhouses bring the Seed of Rebirth into the Forbidden Sea. If they had the ability, they could let the paragons snatch it from the Forbidden Sea. Unfortunately, there was no conclusion to everything. After saying so much, Fong Ping thought for a while and said, "Then, on our Earth, are there any ancient martial artists still alive? I heard that there are some old antiques in the sect world who haven't come out. Is that true?" Fong Ping had been puzzled about this for a long time, but he still could not find an answer. No, Wu Chuan's answer was straightforward. He said quickly, "There are hidden powerhouses in the sect world, but they can't be considered ancient martial artists." What does ancient martial artists mean? Only martial artists who are at least 1,000 years old can be called ancient martial artists. There are some old antiques in the sect world, but most of them are powerhouses who were born in the last 100 or 200 years. Other than that, there are actually some martial artists who have been resurrected. They don't show up often, so you guys don't know. However, the government has registered these people. Sometimes they are also enlisted to participate in the war. But how do I put it, these old antiques? Speaking of these old antiques, Wu Chuan felt a headache coming on. He said, "When I say old antiques, I mean really old-fashioned. Some of the seniors in the sect world are actually guarding the catacombs, including Mount Royalty. Other than the paragons, there are actually some powerhouses guarding it. Those are the powerhouses in the sect world. This is one of them, and another one, these people are more stubborn. They are only willing to defend Earth, unwilling to defend against the enemy outside. If the catacombs invade, they will participate in the war. But if they do not invade, they are not willing to participate in the war. It is not good to force them on this matter. They can't possibly suppress them because of this, right? Since they are willing to defend, the few paragons did not force them either. However, when Commander Li and Minister Zhang rose to power, they still did something big. They forcibly migrated these sects to a few places near the more dangerous catacombs entrances. Since they are unwilling to enter the catacombs, these people are guarding the passageway entrances. The old antiques are unwilling, but the young people can't. Watching martial artists from all over the world enter the catacombs. In the past few years, the young martial artists from those sects have also started to enter one after another. Otherwise, without resources, without battles, the sect world will become weaker and weaker. After listening for a while, Fang Ping said with slight regret, "There are no ancient martial artists. I thought there would be some ancient people in the sect world. 100 or 200 years was considered a long time, but relatively speaking, these people were really not considered too old. Then, are there many of these powerhouses? Not really. There are only a few tens of high ranks." Wu Chuan said with some regret, "It's really not easy for these people to cultivate to this stage in that era. Most of them have never entered the catacombs. These people are the most outstanding group of people in several generations. It's a pity. If they had entered the catacombs to fight, maybe a paragon would be born. Now that they are old and weak, unless they have reached rank 8, rank 7's combat strength has declined. But speaking of which, these martial artists from these sects might be the martial artists that we yearn for. Practicing martial arts is to cultivate one's character, to play in the secular world," Fang Ping said disapprovingly. "Before the crisis is eliminated, cultivating one's character and playing in the secular world at this time is not considered a martial artist. These old antiques can only be used as signboards. Anyway, they are not good enough for me. In every era, there would be some people who stood out and led the era. These influential people guided the direction of the people of an era. When people like Li Jun and Zhang Tao rose to power, Sino-Nation martial artists gradually moved from defense to counterattack. Before Li Jun and the others rose to power, there was defense, but very little counterattack. However, when people like Li Jun and the others rose to power, some of Sino-Nation's policies changed. They started initiating wars. This was the change. Everything was related to the style of these powerhouses. Those old antiques practiced martial arts to play in the secular world. This also led to the majority of the martial artists of that era to have this kind of character. The conversation went on for a while. Fang Ping had understood everything he needed to know. Tian Mu and Wu Chuan did not talk about this anymore. Instead, they went underground to look at the mineral veins. These rank 9 who were inexperienced had not seen the royal city's giant mine. When country bumpkins entered the city, of course, they had to take a look. Wu Quishan accompanied them, showing off silently at the same time. Haven't seen the world, right? This war went on for 3 days. After the war, the aftermath lasted for a long time. Plundering the spoils of war, transporting materials, mining, cleaning the battlefield, Zhang Tao did not stay in the catacombs for too long. After the core mineral veins were transported away, he left the catacombs. Green Wolf King had warned him many times with mentality. If Zhang Tao did not leave, he would not be courteous. Although Warlord was still keeping watch at Mount Royal Sea, Warlord had to return to his own defense zone. He could not stay for long. After Zhang Tao left, MCMU began to evacuate the wounded and the weak. The others, including Fang Ping, had to go underground to dig away the mineral veins in the periphery. Wu Chuan and Tian Mu did not leave. Instead, they were in charge of keeping watch here to prevent any unforeseen events. The team transporting the middle and low-ranked energy ores flowed endlessly between the two cities. Such a grand scene was rare in the catacombs. The Jiao's forest had also become a thing of the past. The team directly opened up a passageway in the Jiao's forest. The Jiao's clansmen had long fled in all directions. No one knew where they went. At the same time, the news of MCMAU annihilating Skygate City had also spread to Sino-Nation and the human world. There was an uproar in the Grandmaster Circle. After the uproar, there was shock and joy. MCMAU annihilated a royal city, greatly boosting the human martial artists' morale. In MCMAU, the teachers and students who stayed behind were also cheering. Chun Zhenhua and the others even hurried to the Southern Area Cemetery and the school archives to pay their respects. The enemy of decades had been completely annihilated this time. Such a big event was enough to comfort the heroic souls who had died in battle. At this moment, many powerhouses rushed to Magic City once again, waiting for MCMAU's return. You're tuning into the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.